In a world of remakes and remasters,
Are we playing for
what was once sacred and cool has now soured and become lame.
Red?
Gone are the days of palms and cowabunga. Now is the reign of slurp juice and dabs. Kids these days don't even know how bad they've got it. Now it's up to the best generation to rise to the occasion and make a show that dares to go where a lot of other nerdy shows have already gone quite a bit. That's right. They're going to talk about it a lot.
What's that? So who was yelling?
Oh.
Did that sound come through on YouTube? Someone like yelled like right as we cut in. I heard it.
I heard it.
That was me.
I heard
Sorry.
it, but I don't know what's coming out.
Oh, it was David yelling at his kids.
I did right before I was unmuted. I didn't think it came through.
Yeah. So you know in those so that cliche where you're talking at a loud party, you know. And I said everyone here is an idiot, right? And then I'm sorry, what?
Right,
what?
yeah.
And the music stops. I said everyone on Best Gen's an idiot.
Whoa.
Anyway, welcome to Best Gen. Welcome to the show. This is Best Gen, where nerds complain about nerdy things. It's called Best Gen because all of us on the panel are from the same generation, más o menos. We happen to think that it's the best one, not because we're better than you, although some of us may be. Not ruling it out. But the reason it's called Best Gen is because our movies and entertainment certainly were better, or are, better than what we're getting out of Hollywood today. So strap on in as we prepare to wax nostalgic as we reminisce upon the days of yore while simultaneously complaining about the poo-poo doo-doo that Hollywood gives us. How you guys doing?
Here's the thing, though.
What?
Here's the thing, though. Recently, we've been getting a lot of bangers.
This is true.
We've been talking about a lot of good stuff recently.
Yeah. Speaking of bangers, how about that schlong?
Oh my god!
Yeah.
How about them bangers and mash? In
Night of Seven Kingdoms.
Man,
I was able to watch last week after the fact, after I'd already seen the new episode of Night of the Seven Kingdoms, and as you guys were talking about how unnecessary the pooping scene was, I was like, just wait, you get another very unnecessary scene. That,
I don't know why they feel the need to.
As much as the actual poop coming out of a butt, it was certainly not needed.
I wasn't planning on starting with this, but Charles just set us up so well. But we have been getting a lot of bangers. I started a poll because I'm curious. Hold on. I'm curious how the audience is feeling about Pendragon Cycle, because our audience is it's not even split. It's just Jared that doesn't like it. Everyone else is like, yeah, this is pretty good. It's got some flaws, and Jared's like, I'm a
Stick in the mud.
I'm a stick in the mud. But I've also looked from other people who didn't like it. Like
diversity is our strength. So.
Steve, Prophet of the Dragon, not a fan. A bunch of the other White Cloaks, big fans. So
Prophet of the Dragon didn't like it?
No, he didn't. I was surprised.
I knew I liked him.
Is he like Jerry where it's okay, or did he specifically disliked it?
Whoa. I didn't say I was okay either, Charles. Come on. Hold on.
You said you actively disliked it?
Jared says bad, yeah.
At least the first episode.
He hasn't voted on the poll then because there's nobody who said bad on the poll. So
I misunderstood.
I started
a poll on the poll, Jared.
Okay.
So I started a poll.
The second one was okay.
So I started a poll. let's see how everyone else is feeling. Is it good, okay, or bad? We will. Yeah.
I also will say
you guys can also participate in the poll. So, yeah,
I will mostly also add. I think it's good, not great.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't think it's not perfect. I'm loving it, and it absolutely has flaws.
Yeah.
I didn't put perfect on the poll. That's not an option because it's not.
Yeah. I mean,
it is not perfect.
No, absolutely not.
Well, I would say even if you had gone with even just
Steve is wrong. Aldan's in the chat. There we go. Steve is wrong. Yeah, I agree, man. I was shocked.
If you had put great as an option, great, good, okay, and bad, I still would have gone good rather than great.
No, yeah, I don't think.
I
don't think it gets a single great. I think
Okay.
I think it's objectively good. It's got a lot of flaws, but the good far outweighs the bad.
Yeah. Interesting. There were some.
I've gotten about halfway through it now, so I will say there's a lot of good stuff that's in that book in particular. That, boy, it would have been great to see.
I will also say most of the flaws are in the first episode. There are some bad CGI, and there's also some good CGI. But there's that one shot that's terrible. There's that one choreographed stunt that's terrible, and there's that scene, the pacing of the scene, them not going into the fight right away is ridiculous.
Yeah.
And then the structure of the first episode is a little confusing, especially if you haven't read the book. But most of the flaws are in episode 1. Episode 2, much better, and episode 3, I agree. I thought episode 3 was great. Yeah. I didn't know that episode 3 was dropping this week, so sorry guys. Because last week we've had access to the first 2 episodes for a month because we had early access, and so last week I tuned in and there's still 2 episodes because there's always been 2 episodes, and no one in the chat last week said, "Hey, everyone has seen the first 2 episodes. You guys can keep talking."
Yeah.
No one corrected us.
Yeah.
I said it like 16 times. No one's seen the second episode yet, so we're going to stop here. Mm-hmm. And then I went down. I sat down literally 2 hours ago. I sat down. Yeah. I'm going to rewatch the second episode so it's fresh in my mind. Episode 3 dropped 3 days ago? No.
That was literally my morning this morning as well. I sat down. I'm like, hey, now that I've read at least the first half of the book, maybe I'll.
Why didn't you tell us, Bearded?
I should have. I was like, I'm sure they've already seen it. The other thing that I was thinking is that perhaps as premium subscribers, we got episode 3 early as well. So I was thinking, maybe it's just because we got it early. So I didn't know. But nobody else had said anything. And like you said, it dropped like days before. And so I was like, what? Yeah. I also ended up, because I had to watch it, or because I was planning on rewatching, I thought I had plenty of time. I had to watch that one rather quickly, and then I took off to the movies, and so I was, in the movies most of the day. So, yeah.
Well, okay, we got some people in the chat. We got Jared Bennett. Hello there, General Kenobi.
Who's that guy?
He's got a good beard.
I don't know. We got Truth Sworn in the chat. Let's go, Joshua Templeton. Howdy. We got Aldan. Steve is wrong. Yes. Oh, and we got Salty. See, you need to talk to Steve. I did talk to Steve. I talked to Steve about it briefly when I was on his show on, was it Monday or Tuesday? I don't know. This week has been a blur. I've been sick. I woke up. I've had a cold for like 3 days. I've been mostly over it, and I thought it was over, and then I woke up this morning and I couldn't talk. I couldn't breathe. But my voice is back. I didn't think thought we'd have to cancel the show. It's mostly back. It's 80% back. I talked to Steve on his show, and he said he didn't like it. Strong words. Steve knows what I think. Someone said Steve was biased from the books. Yeah. I don't think he's read the books because I brought him up. I was like, I like the books too. And he said, that's not what he said, I've heard bad things about the books. So I don't think he's read the books. But
maybe that's what Joshua is saying. Maybe that's what Joshua is saying, is he's already biased against the books to begin with. I don't know.
Okay. I think the books are great.
He's bad about the books.
Recently finished book 2. I started book 3. David's read all 3. He liked them. Book 3 has some flaws, which we've talked about already because
it was supposed to be more, and then they said, this is your last one.
Yeah. It was supposed to be 5 books, and they said, no, you have to end it here. So book 3
is a little bit rushed.
It's got some structure issues, and then later switched editors and then wrote 2 more books that are like interquels that filled in all the stuff that he wanted to do anyway. So who knows how much of that is going to happen in the Pendragon cycle. I will say they've already shown the last scene of book 2. It wasn't a vision, but it kind of makes me think they're doing all of book 2 this season.
Yeah.
Which I don't think is a good idea.
I think
there's a halfway point that would be a better ending place.
Yeah, agreed.
And hopefully that vision is just like, hey, maybe next season we get to that scene. But they literally they showed that's where book 2 ends. So,
yep.
Wow.
I'll just and there is a small chance. This is one of those things. Hey, they gave the vision for it, and that's something that they will get into in a season 2. So they still might not, but yeah.
That speaks something to the issues that we've had with the first 2 episodes, because I think objectively the issues from the first 2 episodes come from them rushing the entire book into 2 episodes.
Yeah.
So if they're also rushing the rest of the book into the rest of the season, I think they could suffer from the same issues.
I don't even think the rushing was the point. The structure issues in the first episode are because they rushed it, but they could have fixed it pretty easily. Like they just needed better transitions between scenes to establish, hey, like 20 years passed. They had that one title card that said 20 years later, but even then it was confusing for the things that Jared pointed out, which I also agree with.
And there's a handful of things that happened all at once that you said took place over like weeks in the book.
Yeah.
So.
I recommend the show. I think it's very good. It's not perfect, but it's an earnest adaptation. You can tell they care about it and they're trying to do it justice. I really like the books. I've been enjoying the show quite a bit. Mm-hmm. So
I'll just toss in my extra sense on having now read the first half of the book, and you were absolutely right that the dance scene that they cover in the first one was so good in the book.
The bullfight.
The bull dance.
It's
much...
like you can like the way he doesn't like go into too much description, so you're like, oh, this is the action is slowing down because I have to read so many words. But like you can literally see the whole scene. It's just like the way he got it on page. Like you know exactly what's happening.
Yep.
In that scene, and it's really well. It's a really well written fight scene.
I really love the way that in the book she doesn't get gored, she doesn't get bloodied. So the crowd might not know that she got hurt. She gets hurt real bad, but the crowd might not know. Like that worked so well for.
They kind of just see her give up,
point.
And you're like, wait, what's going on?
But that's the thing. Instead of because in the show it shows it's like she's like, I am too wounded. So it's obvious to everyone that she is too wounded. She's kind of giving up, right? But in the book, all the other like people in the stadium, they might just see her standing there proud, not willing to know, knowing that it's
the other dancers could absolutely see that she was hurt, but
the dancers could, but not the audience in the arena.
I think maybe some people would see she was like limping, but there wasn't like any gore,
But I don't know. I really liked that idea because it also like preserves a lot of her. Like it lends well to her like mystique, especially for everybody else loving her so much,
Yeah.
And the other thing that I loved about it too is the way that the bull dies in the book. First of all, it's a lot more brutal, but also lends more to that idea of it didn't just like get exhausted. It was almost like here's a divine intervention kind of thing. It seemed like at the very least, or would have seemed like that probably to outside watchers. So I thought that was really, really good, really well done. And I also have to say that Elfin Taliesin's dad? Yeah. His turnaround on Luck was incredible to read through.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
It was good, and I love the story of him and Bronwyn as well. It's going to meet his wet nurse.
Yeah, all great stuff. I'm kind of sad that that's not in the show.
But I understand it's a very, very minor part of the book. So.
Yeah. Well, when they cast, Brett Cooper, I was like, oh yeah, she's well. When I started reading the book and Bronwyn was described as the most beautiful woman in the world, I was like, oh yeah, obviously that's Brett Cooper, right?
I thought that too. Reading through the book, I'm like, oh yeah, maybe she could play Bronwyn, and then I got to Ganyeta's part in the second book, I'm like, oh no, she's going to be Ganyeta for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And
Ronwin's great. I'm loving Ronwin. I'm
sure.
waiting for another shoe to drop with that, with both of them, but yeah, I don't know.
Okay,
awesome.
so this is a very interesting point, and I don't know if I can honestly answer this question because I am biased. I read the book. I've read the first 2 books, and Taliesin is the better book. Like I like both of them quite a bit.
I agree.
But Taliesin is amazing, and so I love the first 2 episodes. I also totally understand. Maybe do it. I don't know. I don't know how how it'll affect people who have
Merlin is the name that people will recognize, and so they've got to sell it.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
I mean, the episode 1 does say, "Hey, Merlin's coming up in a bit, but let me quickly tell you the story about my dad."
Yeah, and I wish that they'd done that to say, "Cool," and this whole season will be leading up to that. Maybe you couldn't have done that.
But episode 3 definitely, it's definitely like reset. This is a whole new story.
Yeah,
because it is.
They could have probably done a good series just on the first 2 books. Like I haven't read the first 2 books, but what I've gathered based off the
book 1 could have been like 2 seasons of television, dude.
And then you end it with, oh, that's Merlin. Oh, okay, like that's gonna go into the Arthurian.
Here's the problem, though. You say, hey, we're adapting a book. We're adapting a book series. We're making an Arthur TV show. Arthur doesn't even appear until book 3.
Yeah.
And it's all really good stuff, Yeah. But then you're like, do we need to? But I don't think.
I think dropping in the Merlin part, though, you're like, oh, okay, right. Merlin. Like I can get into this because Merlin's a fun character as well, right? Like it's always Merlin and Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table, right? So it's like just dropping Merlin even at the end of the season would have been like, oh, okay, like this is gonna be cool.
I agree. I also think
harder to sell. It would have been a lot harder to sell. But
I also think if they didn't want to do that from a marketing perspective, they could have started with book 2 and just told all of book 1 in flashbacks. I think they could have found a way to pull that off, or at least have the cold open for episode 1 be Atlantis, and then Atlantis being destroyed, and then the boats going off to settle in England. And then the rest of the entire series be all book 2 with flashbacks filling in the gaps of what happened. I
don't know.
I mean, my preference would be.
I don't think
season 1 all.
You know what?
Book 1, but
here's a better answer.
I don't know.
Here's the better answer. Do it like the Adam Eve prequel for Invincible.
Where you release the first season about the second book,
start with book 2.
Start with book 2 and then do a
prequel season.
Yeah.
That works.
With like one or
that's probably the most marketable way to go about it, to still get a full season of book 1. Because as it is, first of all, it's on a small streaming service that only a few people have. Not like even a lot of conservatives, they just don't have the Daily Wire, right?
Right. The problem with David's idea, it doesn't work. The story of Taliesin is pretty intricate.
Yeah.
And if you're cutting back to it in flashbacks, it's going to get confusing.
Yeah. I was going to say it's intricate, and how much does it actually tie to Merlin's story?
It's a whole freaking book.
Yeah. And how much is it something that specifically
there are some parallels, right? So if you're doing this happened to my dad and then this is happening to me.
Okay.
Like you would have to change a lot of Taliesin to get that to work, though.
Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm saying, is like I wonder how connected how parallel they are in terms of something that you could flash back to have it have meaning. Because like we've talked about with like Arrow, when that
if you're doing a flashback, it needs to be relevant to the thing that's happening in the episode.
The first couple of seasons they did that, and then later on in the later seasons they just cut back for some random other story, and that was really weird and
I think you're right though, bro. I think they could have just started with Merlin and heavily referenced, oh, my dad, Taliesin, he was this bard or whatever, and throw those little nuggets in there just with verbal dialogue, and then say, okay, we're gonna go back and do this as a prequel season. I think that.
What do you guys think that they've, or what do we think about them starting in the middle of Merlin's story? Here's the thing. The book kind of does the same thing. Okay. So episode 3 is where the book Merlin starts. And the cold open of episode 3 is the very beginning of the book. That's pulled straight. Most of the dialogue,
dialogue about the
ranting, his monologue there, not dialogue. Yeah. His monologue there is pulled straight from the book. That's where the book starts, and then jumps into prequels. And so the next scene in the TV show, timeline-wise, sequentially, happens right after the cold open of so it doesn't. It goes from the cold open to the next scene sequentially, but that scene doesn't happen until halfway through the book.
Which I will say that threw me off just a little bit.
Kind of does the same thing. It starts and says, says, hey, you want to know how I ended up here? You know,
yeah.
And then
because he went from being very bushy bearded to his clean look, and I was like, are we flashing back or no? This is him coming. So like, because the him being bearded to being not bearded was sequentially in order, but
the
it just
show
felt like
also does the same thing, but it's like halfway through the episode, it starts flashing back to when he was a kid.
To him as a kid,
right? Yeah, and that's fine because he's a kid, and you're like, oh yeah, this is obviously.
Hey, where did you get this sword? I saw the sword when I was a kid.
But yeah, it is a little bit jarring coming from episode 2 when he was just barely born, and then you're like, okay, now here's him with the beard. Now here's him without a beard, and then here's him as a kid in flashbacks.
And that's where the choice to spend the first 2 episodes on Taliesin is making it even more. It's like, was this the right choice?
I think it was. I think it's a good narrative choice.
It's a really hard choice to make. So like, I don't even know.
Yeah.
Structurally,
so to answer your question, I think it's a good idea to start Merlin's story here. But I think it's a little bit jarring coming from Taliesin and then jumping past here. Yeah. So I don't know. So yeah, I think that's how it's going to go. We're going to go through the rest of Merlin's story leading up to Arthur being born, and then do flashbacks of Merlin's early life and Ganyeda.
Here's the other problem, though.
It's just a lot of jumping back and forth.
Here's the other problem with the solution that I presented, which is to do it like Adam and Eve, is you can't just start with Merlin because a bunch of the stuff that happens in Merlin is callbacks to Taliesin, and you're like, that's not going to be satisfying if you don't get Taliesin first.
It really is.
It's really tough. It's really tough.
The best solution is to start with Taliesin and have a whole season, and then a whole season of Merlin. And then
but that's not.
Go on.
That's not marketable.
And spend 3 seasons before you get to Arthur's story. That's kind of crazy.
I think that if you wanted to do that, though, you do have to market it as, hey, this is a series that leads to Arthur.
You're going to get Arthur eventually, guys. We're not. I don't think we're getting Arthur.
Market how they mark him, Madam Web. Say this
maybe
is
Arthur gets
no
born.
Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Maybe we get to Arthur's birth, but that's where it ends. I don't even think we're getting that far.
That's where book 2 ends. Is with Merlin or with the Arthur being born.
Birth,
Right.
So I don't.
It could be something like the Tony Spider-Man.
Yeah. Uther and his brother Aurelius. I think they're well cast.
I think you gave the worst example of a thing that was a Spider-Man-less Spider-Man movie, though, Charles, with Madam Web.
Yeah.
At least go with
Venom.
I was going to say at least go with Venom, but
it's the best of the Spider-Man-less movies. I think, though, in principle, like that did not work. That did not work in principle.
Yeah.
But this obviously could have. But the fact is like we weren't expecting Spider-Man to show up in Venom. We weren't expecting to show up.
Right.
So we weren't disappointed when he didn't. Or we weren't expecting him to show up in Madam Web. So like the movie disappointed us on its own merits.
You want to know the best way to not be disappointed by a Venom movie, Charles? Don't watch it. I haven't seen any of the Venom movies. It makes me so happy.
But the first one was okay. The second one was fun. I liked the villain in the second one. The third one, Charles, couldn't really get through.
I didn't actually see
that. That wasn't an invitation to start talking about Venom. Okay? That was me trying to move past your non sequitur.
Alan, you do remember the episode where we were pretty sure it was going to
Yes,
be really short.
I
It was
do.
you, me, and Charles. You just gave both of us an
And
opportunity.
neither of you would shut
more.
up and let us get on with the show.
You can kick whoever you want, Alan. If we're talking too much, you can kick us.
Okay, point of the
Don't
story
remind
is
him.
casting. Okay.
Yeah, there's a lot of other really, really good casting in this
let's
episode.
let's talk about. Problem is, I didn't get to rewatch episode 2, so that was like 4 weeks ago when I watched it.
Yeah.
But I liked episode 2. It's more of episode 1.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we
But-
didn't. We haven't
except-
talked about episode 2 on the show.
Except you get
That's where you
kissing
get
in it.
really Christian. You know, I was like,
Yep.
wow, because you guys mentioned that how very Christian the series is, and that was something I was really surprised at because I guess I'm just so not used to it. You know, I was like,
don't
whoa.
stop.
Ugh.
Stop. I don't want to watch it, please.
Let's do it.
Just
No, please.
okay.
I'm morbidly curious, but no, it's not worth it.
Okay, here's what we'll do.
So you want to talk about episode
You
2
doing
real
a
quick
poll?
because I forgot we haven't talked about that yet.
Yeah.
Here's what we'll do.
There's a lot of nonsense in that one too, guys.
There's a
In
little
episode
bit,
2,
There's a
but
lot of nonsense.
I'm curious.
There's a lot of stuff where I'm like,
mostly just at the end, I think.
In episode 2?
well, no.
Okay, what?
David.
Okay, Jared. What are your problems
Okay,
with
we'll
episode
get
2?
into it.
Get them out of the way so you don't keep interrupting the.
No, that is the fun of this argument. Is that I actually I get to interrupt you guys with some valid points. I think, but
Sure, they're points.
Hold on.
They're points.
Okay, Star Trek. Okay.
Oh,
here's
starting
the
the
problem.
You,
I
you
haven't.
know that the poll's gonna go against you, right? Like,
No,
It is.
and
You
this
should
is not
you
a
should
poll.
do a goal.
This is not a poll. This is a goal.
oh,
Yeah. I was gonna say it's got to be a goal, not a poll.
All right.
Do you think does
fair.
YouTube
That's
censor
smart.
the word bastard?
probably.
We could
Find out.
check it right now. Hold on, let me type it in the chat.
I'm gonna censor it myself.
Hold on, how do you
Mark Clark. Nope, it's not censored. Thanks for testing that for us, Mark.
You want to put that on screen? No, just kidding.
Hold on.
Nice.
It's-
Yeah, Mark beat me to it.
Shut up. Well, if it shows up here, that doesn't mean it's on you. Yeah, okay, it did show
It's
up
on YouTube.
Yeah, it's showing up on YouTube.
See, that's the fun thing is it no, even if your comment gets censored, it shows up on the streaming platform, so we can pull it
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
But- okay. How much is the goal? That 2 times 10, $20? Am I that cheap? Am I that cheap?
That's up to you, bro. Oh,
That 50 is too much. Okay.
I've heard a rundown of episode 1 of Star Trek Academy, and
Here's the problem with
was
Star
not
Trek.
good.
Error occurred. Oh no. Hold on. Let me just refresh the page. Okay, here's the problem. The amount of new Trek that I have watched, I haven't watched a lot of old Trek. I never religiously watched Star Trek, okay? I'm a big fan. I've watched a lot of episodes, okay? But scattered throughout, okay? I never watched it sequentially, okay? And the amount of new Trek that I've watched is 0. Okay, I watched one
The
episode of
musical
Star Trek
episode.
Discovery. Knew that was bullcrap. And then I watched the one episode of Strange New Worlds, which was the musical episode. And
Yeah.
that made me want to end my life. Okay.
It's pretty bad.
I don't want to watch this show. Okay. I know it's garbage and I don't need to see my already, awesome. It's not letting me start a super chat goal.
Because you had one before, and you had to
I
disable
know.
it.
I
or whatever,
ended
right?
it. I ended it because I wanted to change what the goal was, and now it won't let me do it.
You had I didn't know you had a goal. I knew that you had a poll.
I had a poll and a goal.
I don't know what the goal was. I just saw that a goal showed up there. Yeah.
It was to fire
poll
Jared
is covering
again.
the goal. I can't see it.
Oh, they wanted to fire me again? Okay,
There you go.
Let me try it in here. I'm gonna try it on a different screen. Yeah, the goal was fire Jared. was fire Jared, but I'm switching the goal.
That's fun.
You're welcome. It's not letting me.
All I see is you
won't let me
disabled the goal.
It won't let me make a new goal. That sucks. Well,
Dang.
what's wrong with stupid YouTube? Anyway, point of the story is, I'm an honest person. If we get $20 in super chats, I'll review the first episode. That's all I can promise. Okay. I know. Okay. So much. I just don't. I hate it so much.
I mean, that is kind of what the show's about, though. You know,
Yeah,
it's true.
Right. There's no official goal, but I'm an honest man. If we get $20 in super chats tonight,
the problem is we've
I'll
gotten
review the
used
first
to watching good stuff.
Yeah, we've gotten adjusted to that now.
that's the promise. That's the promise. I will review the first episode if we get $20 in super chats. Okay.
I will say, interesting parallel with the Rings of Power, though. This is something that.
Oh my gosh. All right, there you go.
Okay.
Hey, that's only $19.99.
I don't want to get technical about it, but that is not $20. Okay, Mark?
And there's something to be said about the fact that you're not even getting $20 out of that. You're getting what, a 2/3 of that?
That is $19.99. And I need a super chat from Clarity $21.99.
I love that.
Thank you, Mark. Also, I hate you.
He's the enabler for a lot of the stuff that happens on this show, isn't
The
he?
worst.
This is true. This is true.
With friends like these, who needs new track? Okay.
I will say one thing I wanted to add in there, since he mentioned Rings of Power. The thought crossed my mind as we were talking about the Daily Wire taking this and trying to adapt it, but having to figure out the right way to market it, and having more that they wanted to adapt that they couldn't adapt. That parallels to me a little bit when like Amazon bought the rights that they decided to take for Rings of Power. Not bringing too much of a parallel there, but in terms of why did you decide to do this when you couldn't do the story that you actually bought or that you would be a good story to tell? And I think that's one thing that I could point at Daily Wire and say, hey, if you want to do this, either embrace the fact that it's going to be a difficult sell and it may have to build, just do it well and have to have a build, or don't try to say, hey, we're going to do this Pendragon Arthur series that you know is not going to be able to get to Arthur very quickly. And so I think there's something there that some parallel that I was picking up on as we were starting to discuss that really makes me unhappy with it. And I'm like, come on.
Unless they've already got funding enough for both seasons.
We don't know. We don't know if this is also Jeremy.
Which again,
Boring
if they have
like
enough for both seasons,
anymore, right?
Yeah, that's true.
And this is his.
If they have enough for two seasons, then bite the bullet and say, "Hey, we're doing Taliesin, and we're doing it right."
We also don't know.
And their audience is the kind that, can say, "Do it right." Okay, we're good with that.
I was happy with the 2 episodes, though. That's the thing. Like, I didn't think we were going to get 2, and I'm happy with the 2. Could they have been done better? Absolutely. I still liked them. And I think it's just enough for like the the callbacks for references to that story to work
to make sense.
Okay.
But
that is a really good point, and it is shocking that you're making good points and other Jared is making bad points when it's normally the other way around. Here's the other thing with the Jeremy Boring CEO thing. We don't really know the reason why Jeremy Boring is no longer the CEO of Daily Wire. It could be, hey, you spent way too much money on Pendragon Cycle, and this is a hostile takeover. You're not in charge anymore. We're going to release this season, but that's all you get, right? Or it could be he cares so much about the Pendragon Cycle, he's stepping down as CEO so someone else can manage the company and he can take care of Pendragon Cycle. We really don't know which one it is.
Yep. Honestly, he's done a better job with Pendragon Cycle than he's done managing the Daily Wire.
Yeah.
I mean, I like the Daily Wire, but every single bad decision they have made have come straight from Jeremy Boring.
Yeah.
He is not
every
public statement he's made has just been, oh gosh.
Yeah,
I did
he
like
likes to be controversial.
I did like his thing with Jeremy's razors though, and
Yeah, I love his
chocolate bars.
commercials.
I thought that was a good move.
Yeah.
The best part of the chocolate bars was the one's a chocolate bar and one has nuts. You know which one has. We all know really which one has nuts, right? Like,
yeah, they named the chocolate bar he, her, and she, or she,
him,
her, and
she,
him,
her, and
he,
him.
Yeah, like one has nuts. If I have to tell you which one, it's good. It's good marketing.
Mark Clark is a madman.
Oh boy!
Save this comment for later. Hey.
So are we watching Starfleet Academy?
Sounds like it.
I'm not making you guys do it, but I'll watch the first episode.
If we'll talk about it, I'm down.
Oh, gosh. Okay, fine.
Yeah,
I wasn't going to force you guys to do it, but if you want to watch Star Trek Academy, by all means, torture
here's the thing.
yourselves.
Fallout's not bad enough to scratch that itch of this is a terrible show to complain about.
That's true. We kind of need a really bad show to rag on.
Like Fallout, it's not. I think it's the worst of the ones we're watching, but it's not bad. Like I wouldn't say it's terrible.
Yeah.
Mark says we all are. So
Mark, he's making the decision. He's paying the
bills. Okay.
He's the one supplying our expedition. So I mean,
he's our investor.
Oh, okay.
That's true.
I was like, which episode? Which episode are we talking about? Star Trek Academy. Yeah. I've already watched a bunch of reviews of it too.
Same. That's the problem.
Like what are you going to get from me that you can't get from Disparu? and those people have watched all of old Trek too, so like they're coming from. I would just be analyzing it critically, which I guess that's there's value to, right?
That's something.
Yeah.
Well, there's some other people that I follow sometimes where they're like, if I can't review it when it's like fresh out, I'm not going to review it. I'm like, but your followers still want to know what you think, even if what you think is exactly what everybody else is thinking or saying. Your followers want to hear from you. They follow you for a reason. And Mark saying the joy of knowing you watched it. So I think that there's always some benefit to that.
Okay, my biggest like not hesitancy, but here's what's holding me back the most from trepidation. Yeah, and why would I want to watch that show? Okay, if I wanted to see Elastigirl's feet, I would prefer it to be animated. Okay.
I don't know the context.
Okay, I don't know what this is a reference to. I haven't seen enough of Starfleet Academy. I'm curious now. We've got to watch it.
The lady who voices Elastigirl is the captain of the Starfleet Academy.
Oh, really?
And she walks around barefoot all the time and has her feet up on the bridge, like in the air while she reads books. It's bizarre.
Yeah, that's a little weird.
Okay.
This will be great. This will be great, guys. Let's do it.
I saw a little clip of somebody sitting in a captain's chair that was okay, interesting.
Right? That's the voice of Elastigirl, right?
Yeah, it is. You're right. You're right.
I'm sure there's already plenty of smut fan fiction if I wanted to see her feet. Okay.
100%. Of course.
I agree. Fallout Season 2 is good. It's boring. I've only watched 3 episodes, and I take Pendragon over any day. Absolutely. I was also not a big fan of this last episode of Fallout. It's really been hit or miss, and this episode really accentuated the pointlessness of the flashbacks. I don't know why they're still doing the flashbacks, because it's given us zero new information.
Yeah, it's just to show that.
I don't know. The
flashbacks is like, we already knew all of this. I don't know why we're still doing flashbacks. It didn't add anything new. And also, this episode specifically accentuated the sheer stupidity with the Death Stalker. Are they Death Stalkers?
Death Claws.
The Death Claw situation, right? And how the door is too strong to hold it. It's keeping them out of the free side of New Vegas.
Yes, that's fair.
Even though in the last episode he punched through a building and then stopped at a steel plate, and in this time he threw a guy through the door and didn't try that with a brick or literally anything. Like, these death claws are so retarded, and the situation, the fighting was the fight scene was pretty awful too.
I thought the effects on that were pretty good.
Episode.
The effects were good. The choreography was not.
Yeah, that was fine.
Anyway, we're supposed to be talking about the Pendragon cycle.
Okay.
Well, why are you going on a tangent here talking about? But, all right.
Very weird considering.
That was
Pete or
Corwin's trying to get us to move past this onto Night of the Seven Kingdoms. Yes, that's everyone's theory. I've read the books. I know what the truth is, but I don't know. If you watched the second episode, if you didn't get it in the first episode, and then you watched the second episode and you still didn't get, he's obviously Egg is a Targaryen, and if you've been paying close enough attention, you should know exactly which Targaryen he is.
Yeah.
So
yes, you're absolutely right.
I was actually just about to write a comment on that in responding, because I don't.
Yes. See,
I got the impression that the sons that were missing were older sons, and that Egg, if anything, is another younger son that has also escaped otherwise. So I didn't think he was one of those two missing sons that he's talking about. I think that those are older sons, but I do still think he's a Targaryen. So I still could be wrong on that, but
yeah.
Anyway.
I think it was.
That's what I thought too.
That was him.
Because it also seemed like he's been missing longer than when these sons have been missing. Like, these sons just went missing like that day or something like that.
Yeah,
I don't know. Like they were with them, riding with them until just then or something. You know,
there are also some wonderful parallels in this book. Dunk thinks his name is Dunk and finds out in episode 1, oh no, my real name is Duncan. I'm just a moron, right?
I will say. That's an interesting. The way they presented that in the show was kind of interesting, because it was like Egg just mentioned, like, don't you mean Duncan? And he goes, oh yeah, of course. If you really thought your name was Dunk, you would just say,
okay,
no,
I'm
just
exaggerating. It's a little bit of hyperbole. He doesn't think his name is Dunk. It's just
okay.
No one has ever called him Duncan, and so he doesn't think of himself as Duncan. He is Dunk, and so when the guy says Duncan, he's like, yeah, I guess that technically is my name.
Okay.
Right? But
that makes a lot more sense than the way you were presenting it, because like the way that it's presenting it showed in the show.
Right. But when someone asks you, hey, you're a knight, what's your name? You don't say Sir Dunk. You would say Sir Duncan.
Right.
He's an idiot.
You're not Sir Michael. You're not Sir Mike. You're Sir Michael. You know, you give your full whatever name. You know, your government name, if you will. But yeah.
Yeah, I think. Daily Wire also has a deal right now where you can just subscribe for like for a couple months. They're calling it the Pendragon discount or something like that. I think it's like $30, and so you don't have to pay for the whole year. You can pay for it just to watch the show and then leave. Which
that's
very
pretty nice.
Very smart move.
Yes.
Very smart move.
Yeah.
I don't know how much.
That's
it is,
a very
like
interesting Well, I was gonna say that's a super interesting tactic, because they will probably get a bunch of people subscribed just for the show, and that will actually leave. I wonder how many will stick around, because I know that's got to be their hope that people will want to stick around and keep subscribed.
Yeah, sure.
But I'm curious to see how many people do stick around. You know.
Okay, we are just jumping around.
I definitely think
so. Okay, wait. Night of the Seven Kingdoms takes place 100 years before Song of Ice and Fire. And then the other show, it's Wind
House of the Dragon.
It's not Wind and Truth. It's Fire and Blood, which is the book. The show is House of the Dragon is 200 years before Song of Ice and Fire.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Or maybe it's 150. Hold on.
Dunkin' Donuts, nice.
It could be 150. I think it's 100 and 200, but no. It's 50,
80.
50 years. It's 50.
Okay.
Let me double check.
I was thinking it was 80 years from Game of Thrones to Night of the Seven Kingdoms, and another 100 before that but I don't know.
It's
I haven't actually read the books. This is just
no, it's 100. I was right the first time.
talking.
It's 100 and 200. The two prequels are both 100 years away.
Gotcha.
But okay, to finish my thought or my hint, if you're paying attention, you should already know what Egg's name is.
Well, yeah, it's also
not,
really
not
interesting.
just that he's a Targaryen. You should know what his real name is.
Yeah, they say
not
it
hard
in
to guess.
episode 2.
Well, and I was going to say too, especially if you've watched Game of Thrones, which again I haven't watched Game of Thrones, but I've seen a lot of the discussion that points out like the connections to Game of Thrones. But it's really interesting when he says his name the first time. When he says Egg, he says it in a way that should also, like Alan's saying, give away what his real name is.
Have his horse called Donuts.
Mm-hmm.
That was good.
That's good.
Yep.
That's very good. Okay, problem is I tried watching stuff on Daily Wire before, and the stuff is generally not good. Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah,
that's totally fair. I
agree.
I like some of their movies, though. I thought Run Hide Fight was okay. And I liked Shut In quite a bit.
Shut In was probably the best one they've
Except
done.
the ending wasn't.
That's the problem.
The ending wasn't bad, but it wasn't what it should have been. Like, the ending could have been better. But Shut In was definitely worth watching.
That's a problem with all of their movies, I think. I think they're all really pretty good, but the endings are kind of fall apart in the ending.
I haven't even watched the Wrestler Ladies movie, the Prairie.
The Prairie? Terror on the Prairie?
Terror on the Prairie.
That was the same way. It was pretty good, but
I'll also say this is kind of a good example and can apply really well to the Pendragon cycle.
Sir,
is that this is them starting out like making this premium of content. Like there's going to be some growing pains, some like smoothing out of issues that they're still learning. I mean, even if they've got experience, they probably haven't run it at this level. I don't know.
If I haven't spoiled anything. Okay.
I mean, you did reveal that he was a Targaryen.
Well,
it's very obvious.
It
wasn't obvious.
If you didn't already get it, like you should.
That was literally the first thing my wife said when he was bald. It's like, so
David, and we all know David's wife is
Here's
a little
the thing,
bit thick,
though.
okay?
Here's the thing. I think it's only obvious if you're familiar with the wider lore. This is my first entry into this universe. I didn't know that Targaryens. I didn't know who the Targaryens were.
That's fair.
Don't know that they have white hair. All I know is there's this bald kid, and apparently he's bald for a reason. That's it.
Yeah, that's
he
fair
comically hides behind a tree when the Targaryens ride into camp. He's like,
in the second episode, absolutely. As soon as the Targaryens show up, he's like, I should probably go. That was the big giveaway.
It sucked. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, Run Hide Fight was pretty good. Run Hide Fight was pretty good, and Shut In is pretty good.
You know what's weird is YouTube censored that one.
Which one? Shut In?
I don't know why it censored Run Hide Fight was good.
Oh, because it said fight. Because fight. The word fight.
Oh my god.
Well, you can say bastard.
They censor the word fight, but not that's crazy.
Weird.
They're ridiculous.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Anyway, she was who? Gina Carano.
Also, this next comment is surprising that it gets through, but fight does not. Come on now.
Full frontal nudity doesn't get banned. I read all the George R. R. Martin except the damn novella. Okay, I entered that.
This is the one that I'm saying. I'm surprised that got through.
House of Drac. Oh, okay.
I'm like, wait, what? Because the full frontal didn't come through either, but.
So I've read just about everything except for a Song of Ice and Fire, because I refuse to start that series unless he finishes the next book.
Until he finishes it. That's kind of where I'm at with Name of the Wind too. I'm not necessarily refusing, but I'm not jumping on it until it's closer. Until something's happening with it.
Put your bad words in the chat so we can scientifically figure out.
I don't think you guys are getting any money off this one.
YouTube's
Sorry.
Yeah.
Guts.
Yeah.
Let's start with the four-letter words, please.
You're gonna go get yourself shadow banned.
Very cute. Thank you, Charles.
Yeah,
great addition.
You get the okay. I was afraid no one would get the reference. Let's go.
Balls.
Oh,
They're-
it's
They're coming- Yeah, we're getting them all.
Yep.
Anyway,
ball
point of the
sack
story
come
is
through.
what are we talking
No,
about
we didn't
now?
get ball
We've
sack.
already jumped into everything we were supposed to start talking about, and none of it
All right,
happened
we're all done.
sequentially.
Have a good
What
one.
show what show are we going to talk about
Wait,
and
this might
stick
actually
to
be
till
over
it's
then?
done?
Shit.
What?
Let's see if we can finish Pendragon Cycle.
Okay,
I know Jared had some.
I feel
points.
like we're almost done with House of the Dragon anyway. Like we've already let's finish
With
House of the
the
Dragon.
Knights.
Oh, Night of the Seven Kingdoms.
Night of the Seven Kingdoms,
Sorry,
sure.
Night of the Seven Kingdoms.
Hedge Knight.
Okay.
Yeah.
The tree in his signet or in
In his
his
pants. Oh, sorry.
The trees and it's
No, the
Yes.
tree that he's putting in his symbol of his knighthood.
Mhm.
That's a good nod. I was like, oh,
Very cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
And
Although it was weird though, because he
right away, but the falling star too, because that's something that Egg pointed out. Is
oh,
we
Falling
get
Star was
luck.
great.
Oh, it's good. Oh,
So my issue
that one's not coming through.
or
We just lost like 5 viewers.
right, I know, right?
Oh
Goodness,
man.
it censored quite a lot of those actually.
It did.
Yeah.
It's showing through. Oh,
Nope,
oh,
not on
okay.
YouTube. Not on
No,
YouTube.
so-
Oh wait, hold
So,
on. I'm
on
on
the
top
back,
chat.
so
Hold on.
I get it on the back end of YouTube, and I get it through the streaming app. But I
Oh,
don't.
but you're not.
I
Oh,
don't- well,
no,
no,
hold
no,
on,
no,
Content
no.
hold on. I got
Go to live
top
chat.
chat again.
You
I got top chat.
top
Oh
chat.
yeah. Same here.
Dude,
I got
the
top
issue-
chat.
Okay, never mind. They
It's
all
a
came
soft filter. Okay,
through. They all came through.
I'll go
Anyway.
back to multitask.
But yeah, I thought that sentiment with the shield and the tree and the falling star was a nice touch. Although it was a
That
little
was
bit
great.
weird because he set it in to get painted, and then it showed him in the very next scene with his shield back on again, and it had
Yes.
been painted over, but there
so-
wasn't.
But it hadn't been
thing
painted
on
new
it.
yet. Yeah.
Here's
Exactly.
Yeah.
here's what happened. They had to fix that in post.
Run Head Fight was not actually.
Because they actually rearranged some of the events in the book. I think it was filmed sequentially like the book, and then they realized, oh, this is a bad. We need a place to end the episode, and so that the blacksmith scene where he does, because I saw the same thing where he's wearing a shield on his back. That
Yeah.
should actually be in the next episode. There's something that happens first. He gets the shield back, right?
Right.
Right.
And then he goes to see the blacksmith later, and they plopped it up, and it works, except that he's wearing the shield.
Yeah.
So and if
So
you
they had
look
to paint
closely, you
over
can
it.
tell there's some artifacting. So they digitally removed
Yeah.
the painting, so it's just a blank shield because it's neither shield. So it's just he had 2 shields. Okay, because the shield he hands
That's how they
in
can make it.
also had a picture on it.
Yeah.
It had Sir Arlen's
You have a
crest.
picture. It
gets
was
painted.
different.
It's
Oh,
it's
yeah, that
going
one.
to
Yeah.
be painted over. But the shield he
Yeah.
had in that scene was blank, and
Yeah.
that makes sense too.
That works,
You could
yeah.
have a practice shield,
Good, yeah.
Yeah.
but that's
Yeah.
absolutely
Or you could have.
I guess,
you could have
but
Sir,
I don't
Sir
think he
Arlen's
would have-
shield
no. That's the thing.
separately, I guess.
He wouldn't have
really
had
your
it.
own shield.
But
Right.
Yeah.
I would rather this than like you don't need to reshoot the whole scene because he had a
Right.
shield on his back.
Yeah.
Like what they did works, and I'm
Sure.
90% sure that's what happened.
Just I think you're probably right. I was just expecting something like, hey,
Get it in the back end.
I'll put in the sigil tomorrow or something like that. You know,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Um,
Like,
Season
let me
one.
let me
Oh.
do a practice over here, and you take your shield, and I'll put it in tomorrow. Yeah.
We
Yeah,
all loved House of the Dragon season 1 quite a bit, and I think most of us enjoyed season 2, although
Yeah, I
it
think so.
does have some flaws.
yeah, both.
It's not
both
as good.
seasons
It's
have
not
flaws.
as good
but-
as season 1. It fixes some things from season 1, also makes new mistakes. And as far as like action goes, it's got some amazing action scenes that top anything in season 1. But structurally, it's a weaker season. I
Yeah.
still enjoyed season 2,
Especially how it ended.
It does get a lot of hate. I enjoy it a lot more than I think maybe the average person did. But
Yeah.
I don't think it's a bad season.
Agreed.
Yes.
So yeah,
Maybe I should actually check it out then.
episode
been
2 is
hesitant.
really good though. It had some fantastic dialogue.
Okay,
I
wait,
love
sorry, really
Baratheon
quickly.
too.
House of the Dragon season 2.
Yes.
did add something that a lot of people might say is woke, and I don't think that character was well written, but I actually think that putting that in explains something that did not make sense in the book.
Yeah, we did.
Something really, really important happens later in the story, and you're like, that kind of comes out of nowhere. And with the stuff that they added in season 2, you're like, that's it. That's why that happened. And so I'm really I don't think it was like a woke decision. I do think that character was poorly written, though.
Yeah.
But
I
remember. Yeah, if I remember correctly, what you're talking about, yeah.
There's a gay kiss in it. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, Baratheon's probably one of my favorite characters outside of
Baratheon's great.
Duncan and Egg, because he's just like, he's so crazy as a lord. Like he's literally in the tug of war, right? And then he's like, I'm gonna drink. Leaves just to go get a drink. You're like, what is this guy? Like,
then Dunk is just in the back, holding the fort down.
Yep. An Egg at the very front.
Egg's just hanging on. Like,
apparently that was not scripted. The kid just did that. The kids apparently just did that, and they kept it in.
That's brilliant. That was great.
Also, if his feet are on the ground, they would have lost. So
that's true.
He was getting over the line. I don't think they've given the Baratheon a lot more personality than he had in the books, and I'm really liking that they've really fleshed out his character. And I'm 85% sure that he's playing to the crowd here. Like he does like drinking.
I can believe that.
He does like being drunk, but he's also, in the same vein, he's testing Egg. Or not Egg, he's testing Dunk. He's like, should I? Because he knows he's trying to get enlisted. He also knows I could put him in the tournament. Maybe that's a bad idea. I wouldn't want to face him, you know?
Yeah.
What he's doing, he's very whimsical. He's very spur of the moment, but he's also pretty darn calculating.
Interesting.
So
that's cool.
I agree.
Season 2 was crap.
Take. I think you're right.
I see where Aldon's coming from with that, but yeah. I still don't agree, but I see where you're coming from with some of that. There was a lot of
season 2 has some flaws, but it also had some really good stuff. It had that fight scene. It had the dragon fight scene, and it also had the I think it adapted one of the hardest scenes to adapt in the books, which was the two twins,
brothers,
their face off. Which is very ambiguous in the book. The book tells you it could have happened like this. It could have happened like this. Some people say it happened like this. It gives you like 6 different endings. And I think that the way that they had to choose one, and what they chose for that scene was perfect. So,
yeah.
But I liked it a lot more. I'd say it's season 1 is a 10 out of 10. Season 2 is a 7 out of 10. I definitely understand a lot of people didn't like it.
Yeah. I think
it's mostly just because of that one character. She really slows down the plot.
Well, and she does kind of just come out of nowhere.
And she's not a great actress.
Yeah. I think that's part of the problem too. But getting back to Night of the Seven Kingdoms, which I think is a lot better than House of the Dragon.
I love the whimsical.
It's a lot lighter. It's a lot. The characters are ones that you actually like because they're not despicable human beings.
Yeah.
But the dialogue in the show is so smart and so
purposeful.
Very purposeful. There's so many times I wrote down some of the lines because they were just really, really good. I love when Dunk and Egg are talking and they're reminiscing. They're talking about the old knight or whatever, and he said Egg was like, "I wouldn't suffer your master dying over and over again." Talking about how nobody would remember him, and he's just getting depressed. And I just thought that was such a beautiful line of dialogue.
It's wonderful,
and then and just their dynamic together, like when the Targaryens show up and he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna take the horse back and do whatever," and his little thing is like, "I'll hunt you down with dogs," if you
like, you don't
mess with my
have
horse,
dogs.
like you don't have any dogs, like I'll get some, and then he's like, woof, woof.
Their
It's like
their
great.
little playfulness is
their
so
chemistry is so
Yeah.
good. It's almost like a buddy
is.
cop. It's like a
It-
buddy cop
good.
movie.
It really is, yeah.
It really is. It's good. And I think one of the things, if I was listening to Chad Brooks a lot on this topic, and I think he's right, a lot of media nowadays is hateful, kind of just being rude to each other, but you're still friends for some reason.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
it's not this with Dunk and Egg. Like
No,
Dunk,
they're legitimately
after he
becoming
completely makes a fool of himself in front of Tammy Too Tall or whatever her name is, he goes with the Egg and he's like, "Was that? Did I handle that all right?" And
No.
Egg, instead of saying, "You dummy, you did this terrible," he said, "Well, she's painting your shield, didn't she? So it worked out all right." Like he was supportive.
Mhm.
friends.
And then I love
great.
that same scene though, where literally he's like telling him, he's like, right, like how
Some people say I'm too small. He's like, well, some people say I'm dumb.
Even for my
Yeah,
age,
some-
everyone
yeah.
has said it my whole life.
Yeah,
I'm
like-
too small.
So
Well,
what
people
did-
have always called me stupid.
What did you say back to him?
And,
Yeah.
what do you mean?
That was
and?
beautiful. I love
Mind your own
that.
Yeah,
business.
it was great. It was great.
Yeah,
He's- Dunk is an absolute
purposeful.
moron. Dunk has street smarts. Well, not street
That
smarts.
was
Isn't
he
even,
said.
Sincere.
it's not even the right because he's an idiot. Like,
Yeah.
he
has
goes
some
up to the
skill.
king and says, "Gee, I really hope your kids aren't murdered." Right? Like,
Yeah.
he's
And
got
he
street
insults
smarts.
the king by saying, "Oh no, my mask. It took you 7 tries to."
Nah, he
Seven
broke 7
lances.
lances on you. Not
And that was
five.
that was the hand, I think. But yeah,
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah,
That's the hand of the king. Yeah.
you're right. You're right.
But
Okay.
he also knows when he's been being foolish and
Yeah.
steps out of line too,
He's-
because he's,
he's-
like,
he's aware
oh
of
yeah,
it.
I'm sorry. I know that the
Yeah.
the tales are exaggerated in the telling or whatever like that. So he's
it's-
dumb and he's socially awkward and but he knows
he's,
that
he's a social moron, but he's not
Right.
like a complete idiot.
yeah, exactly. That's a good way to put it.
Like he is a not well, and I can't even say he's not a people
I
person.
think he's just inexperienced.
absolutely a people person. He's just so earnest that he doesn't, he has no tact. He has
Right,
zero tact and 100%
No tact.
earnesty.
Yes.
no guile either. And that's
Exactly.
that's the thing. Yeah,
He's
no
just an
guile.
honest person.
Yeah.
He takes things at face value, but he's not an
Um,
idiot enough to not realize that there is something underneath.
Before
Even
My-
if he
my
takes it at
favorite-
face value.
My favorite line of dialogue though is when he talks with the Targaryen knight guy in the stables, and he has this awesome line.
the Kingsguard.
Yeah, the Kingsguard guy.
No, the
Um,
son.
Looked phenomenal, by
Son
the
is
way.
there.
So
Or are you talking about
the Targaryen guy?
The guys in white armor.
Right.
Yeah.
Are those the Targaryens or is that
the white armor or the black armor?
the white armor?
The two guys
those
in
are
white
the white
armor.
armor.
I'm pretty sure
Yeah,
one
the
was a
King's Guard, not the
Lannister,
actual Targaryens.
and one was
Gotcha.
I can't remember who the
Yeah.
other one was.
Sure, but anyway,
Yeah,
the,
he's
the
the-
prince,
the
prince in the
crab
white
dude.
armor was rude
Yeah,
to
the
him,
Kingsguard.
and then his other knight friend, it was like, oh yeah, it's not often he has to lift his eyes up to cast his eyes down. They're like,
That was a good one.
ooh,
That's a good line.
that's
That
very.
was a really
And then he
good line.
leaves, and then they keep talking,
He's
and
like, I was just
and
a
then he's
crabber.
yeah, it's like, where are you from? Oh, I'm from nowhere. Oh, I know that place. I'm from there too. And I'm like,
Yeah.
that's really good. That's
Right?
so good.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Later, a
He's wonderful.
Targaryen comes in, but
Yeah.
Um,
Well, I think the scene just before that, we have the Targaryen, the one that's like, "All right, stable boy, take care of my horse." He's like, "Oh, I'm not a stable boy." That
right.
That scene
right.
was also pretty
that's
good.
why
I
got
like.
confused too.
Yeah. So that one's the
Yeah.
Targaryen.
he's Patrick from SpongeBob. That's perfect. That's absolutely it. If Patrick had a sword,
Yeah.
And was good at fighting.
well,
I assume. I
is
assume he's going to be
SpongeBob-
good at fighting, but
the other, the great part of that is when he's like, I'm just a humble guy. I'm just a crabber. And it totally inspires Dunk. And in that same scene where he's talking with Egg, he's like, yeah, do you think I could be a knight? Anyone could. Yeah, of course you can be a knight. That other guy, he was just a crabber. He's a trust fund baby. What are you talking about? His father owns a half of the crabs in the whole 7 kingdoms. You're like,
Yeah.
oh, he just.
That was
And
another
Egg,
level of knowledge
Egg knows
thing
Egg knows
yeah.
a lot about it.
Well,
The-
but I
yeah,
love his
the-
reaction too. He's like,
but-
"What? No, what?"
He's just a,
the
he's
other
just
thing
like
that
me. though.
I've heard pointed out as evidence towards Egg's backstory is that he says "my lord," not "my lord," which is actually apparently a plot point to some degree in Game of Thrones. That again points to actual royal heritage or upbringing. It's
referencing when Arya Stark is talking to Tyrion Lannister. She's pretending to just be a peasant, and she keeps saying "my lord," and he calls her out. He says, "You know, you got to do a better job of lying. You should be saying "my lord" instead." Yeah, it's a direct reference to A Song of Ice and Fire.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. So, okay. Before we talk about the elephant of the room, back to the dialogue before we move on, and before I forget, I was wrong. The best line in episode 1, the last line where they're talking about the stars.
Yeah.
It's pulled straight from the book. I said I wasn't sure if that was in the book because it's a little bit different. In the book, Egg has already fallen asleep, and it's just Dunk musing on his own thoughts. And he's like, "Hey, look, a shooting star," and like I'm all alone. Everyone else is under their nice pavilions. I'm gazing at the stars, so the luck is all mine. And they they pulled that scene straight from the books, but they turned it into a conversation between Dunk and Egg, and it's even better. It's better.
I love that. I love that because it shows the necessary changes when you're adapting, and it actively makes the story better.
Because that happens in Dunk's head. You can't. Yeah. You could have him just say it out loud, but turn it into a conversation, and it's Egg that puts the thought in his mind. You know, Egg says something smart, and he says, "Oh, don't be an idiot." So you're saying it's just mine then? You know, super good, super good.
I loved that Egg didn't respond to that too, because that also then adds to Egg. First of all, in his bringing it up in the first place, but then also how he responds when Dunk says "Oh, so that's all for us." He's like, "Yeah," just that quiet little smile.
Egg smiling to it. Yeah, it's them becoming friends, them trusting each other.
Beautiful. Yeah,
them kind of saying "Hey, we
get each other.
For each other." Okay, a Swean Hog was tarded. Yes. Okay. Here I can. We gotta talk about the giant schlong. But I think that Amber from The Sword and the Pen put it in a better way than I ever could have. So here's her review of episode 2, and it's basically she took the words straight out of my mouth and made them more poetic.
When you think of a Knight of the Seven Kingdoms novellas, the first thing you think about isn't the and the it's not even the or the because that is almost non-existent in the novella. But it pretty much is the first thing. It's the accent mark that you see over a Knight of the Seven Kingdoms on HBO. This show could have been the Penguin of HBO shows. Instead, it's being on and around with. Otherwise, I actually really like it. But I guess this is what I have to accept now as that's the best it's gonna be ever. So I should just shut up and enjoy the show.
That's it.
That's a really good summary of how I feel about the show.
I love this show. I really like this show. And it's got a big pile of...
Starts out with a big pile of crap.
It's my same complaint with the first episode. I didn't need to see any butts. I actually liked the pooping gag, and it would have been totally fine if they just showed his face. Oh, I'm doing a poop. And then they zoom out and show his butt, and they show poop coming out of his butt, and then they show his naked butt 4 more times in the same episode. And, and then they show Sir Arlen's dong
with a which
is comically small, and they show him pissing out of it into the camera, and you're like, what does this add? This adds nothing. It's actively subtracting from the show. It absolutely pisses me off that I can't. It pisses me off that I can't recommend this show to my mom. Because if it weren't for that stupid crap, my mom would love this show.
Yep, exactly.
Or your kids, for that matter. This show is phenomenal. Other than that, for your kids, because it's a great role model for your sons to look up to and
that too.
Be Egg. Except for it's got tits and it's got a schlong.
Oh, see,
In
so
the
Salty
camera.
wants more tits, less schlong.
Yeah, of course, yeah. But that's the thing. Is because it is connected to the Game of Thrones,
But here's the
They
thing.
franchise
feel like
or whatever.
they have to make
If
it edgy.
They
just
feel like
Game
they
of
have
Thrones.
to. They are
this
wrong.
is,
I hate
this
that.
is
But they
far
feel like they
more
have to.
graphic than Game of Thrones ever was. Oh, well, okay. Game of Thrones showed a lot of penises. Yeah, okay, yeah, sure.
I was gonna say I haven't seen Game of Thrones, but from what I've heard,
Yeah,
there's a roasted penis at one point, if I remember correctly.
yeah, that's true. I mean, yeah, okay. It shows penises and lots of boobs, but
Yeah.
I don't know. This just feels more graphic. They show him peeing on the camera,
Peeing out of it. Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
And
it's
just
really
because
good.
it's just so
an amazing
unnecessary.
show.
Right.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
feels
It
more
doesn't.
jarring because it doesn't need to be there, and it's more insulting that it's in this phenomenal show.
The novellas are only PG-13 because of like the jousting sequences, right? Because of the violence, and it's not even that violent. It's like one, maybe two fight scenes. Okay.
Yeah.
I think if I ever show this to my family, I will download the episodes and I will edit out those scenes.
Yeah.
Like I really want to show this to my kids
Because they're so
when I eventually have
unnecessary.
them.
Yep.
It's so unnecessary, and it also actively makes the lore worse. Like if he had that big of a schlong, he would not be unknown. All of the knights, women's, and witches would know him.
He should have gone to the
And
whores
they
and
would
asked
hate
if
him.
they remembered Sir Arthur
Exactly.
and the Paintree. Like it's just
Yeah.
like they spent all this time, making him look bad, and then they gave him a small penis too. Like they're just making fun of him.
They're just crapping on him extra. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
was there a Hodor penis scene? I don't remember that.
What?
I watched it edited.
Hodor?
Is the problem. So
Order.
I edited.
He's
out
from
all this.
the original Game of Thrones show.
Oh yeah.
Hodor is a great character in Game of Thrones. Anyway, I love the show, and I wish there wasn't gross stuff in it.
Same.
Also-
100%.
You should absolutely be watching The Sword and the Pen. So, she's fantastic.
Sword in the Pen.
That's her
Yeah.
secondary channel, actually. So, Sword and the Pen is more like her prestige stuff, and then the Sword and the Pen Reflections is her like reviewing other people's TV shows. Like her main channel is like writing advice, and the secondary channel is actually bigger than
Yeah.
because it's her
Ooh.
reviewing popular stuff.
Sorry, I
Yeah.
just saw this comment from Mark Clark about the 6th season of Clarkson Farms.
Oh,
That's great. That's great news.
No,
what
nice.
do you mean? Well done. It was the smallest thing I've ever seen. What do you mean well endowed? I don't understand. I'm not getting Clarkson. I'm not. Where's the?
Mark Clark.
It's like 4 or 5 up.
Oh, do we pass?
It's right before saying, "Can we not let Charles say tits?"
Okay, I'm sorry, guys.
I did not hear that. I did not hear that news, but that's awesome.
Well, I assume
Yeah.
we were getting it.
Well, yeah, sure.
Yeah, I did
I'm
too.
stoked.
I thought they were.
When are we getting it?
Yeah.
That's what I'm
That's the big
concerned. That's
question.
what I'm-
Anyway.
Is Charles
okay.
looking it up? I hear him typing.
Yeah.
What else?
I thought they just did season 5 should be coming out soon, right?
What was the last? Oh yeah, so season
was
5
season
isn't out
4.
yet.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay,
right.
so they've
Oh,
pre-approved
production
6
starting.
Okay, cool. Oh,
January.
He was thinking of stopping at 5, but now he wants to do another one. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Okay.
great. Yeah.
Cool. Fun. Yeah, I would watch the show. Here's the thing: he's done a really good job of introducing several new things every season.
Yeah.
And I would watch the show even if he didn't do that. Right? If it was just season 1 over and over again, and if it's just him saying, "Hey, this is how much money I made from the harvest this year," I would still watch the show. He doesn't need to add new stuff, but he keeps doing it because he's insane.
Yeah.
Because he's a showman,
Yeah.
And hey, maybe
He
that's the
doesn't-
only way he actually gets to
want-
make money from his farm.
Yeah, because
I would literally watch the show if it was nothing new every season.
Yep.
It's so
Yeah,
good.
it's a good one. That's great news. Thanks for sharing that.
Okay. Was there anything else to say about Night of the Seven Kingdoms?
Yeah. I did like the jousting part of it.
Oh,
and how
preview.
He's,
Yes,
he's watching it for the first time, and he's like, "Oh shoot! Like
these
is
are good.
real."
These guys are good. I'm big. I've always been good, but also I was fighting an old man.
Yeah.
Am I that good? Am I that big? And these guys are good.
Egg getting into it as much as he was getting into it was really cool. And seeing him like looking at the other squires and going, "Oh," and saying, "Put me down. I need to take this a little more seriously." My only problem is that then he was still just as giddy watching it from there. He was, I don't know. It felt like he should have just stayed serious after he realized that. But
I thought the reason why he went down is because he saw his family sitting in the in the bleachers or whatever, and he didn't want to be noticed. But
that actually was probably more accurate.
I think I'm with Bearded because he was looking at the squires handing the stuff off to their things, but I don't think it was because he was being silly. I think his thing was, I'm small and I'm on my knight's shoulders. I'm his squire. He shouldn't have to be putting me on his shoulders. I should be supporting him, not him supporting me. So I don't think it was being serious. I think he just thought, "Oh, I'm not being a good squire."
I'm not being a good squire. That's a good point.
I thought I took it more in terms of, I don't know if I'll be able to be a good squire because I'm so small. Put me down, and I'm feeling bad about that now, and that's why I felt like, it feels like he should still be contemplating that at that moment. But you have a good point too. That makes sense. That I shouldn't be being supported by him. I should be supporting him. Yeah,
I think it's both that and
those
what
are
David
also
said.
really good. Yeah.
And if you didn't already figure out who he is, the very next scene has him play fighting, and he says, "Die, you black fire bastards." That's also a really big hint to who he is.
Yeah, I wouldn't have picked up on that unless you said it.
I also only
podcaster I've been watching has been.
I was going to say, I only know about it because everybody else has been pointing it out.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have caught that one either.
Anything else? The jousting was
so cool.
Best part about it, it's filmed at night, and you can see everything.
Still see. Yeah.
That's like a rare thing these days.
And this is a show that this is a franchise that has had issues with that.
You're so right, and I think
it only really happened in that one episode, but yeah.
Well, it sounds like it happened in a handful of episodes in Game of Thrones, and it happened in at least a couple episodes of House of the Dragon.
It was just the last season, really.
A handful of episodes in the last season of Game of Thrones.
Oh, it was just one. Just one.
Just the one. I thought there was at least two.
There was only one episode that happened at night, and you couldn't see anything.
No, fair. Having not seen it, I just thought that I've heard people talk about it.
That's the problem, is that it was only one episode, and this was, hey, this is the threat that we're building up to the entire time, and it's over in like episode 2, and you're like, what?
You couldn't see it, and it was over really quickly. Yep.
It was dumb. Sorry for coughing so much. Getting over the cold.
Unacceptable.
Anything else? Night of the Seven Kingdoms. I love it to death, and I'm so upset at the completely unnecessary nudity and crassness.
Agreed.
Yeah. And it's always just that first little bit. Because that's the thing. It's basically one of the opening shots, and then it's fine the rest of the time.
Yep. It's like they have a crass, crude, cold open, and then we get to the good stuff.
Yep.
What's it going to be next time?
It's literally perfect with a little bit of poop in it. Like,
quite literally.
Makes me. It's very frustrating. We're not alone. Like, everyone's. I haven't talked to a single person who's like, "Oh yeah, I really liked the penis scene."
Yeah, one of the reviewers I listened to said that the poop scene really threw them off and really bugged them, especially when you mix it with some of the other like goofier scenes, like of the guy like constantly hawking a loogie or whatever into his thing. I felt like this is such a weird tone that he then later said it fits with the rest of the series in a way that made him okay with it. But that was definitely the scene that he was saying, yeah, I did not need that at all. Thank you.
Yeah.
I haven't heard anyone love the scene, but I've definitely heard people just joke about it in a way that it didn't seem to bother them.
Here's the thing.
That's more of
There's
funny.
there are so many other things this episode that people should be talking about, but they're only talking about the penis scene.
That's true.
Because it was there.
Yeah.
Like there's so much good stuff in the show that you're like, yeah, but that penis though, ha ha ha. This is funny. It's a joke. I guess it's a joke.
Yes.
That's okay. That's a Night of the Seven Kingdoms.
Yeah.
Yeah. Phenomenal, amazing, with a little bit of poop.
Do we do news? Should we do news?
Yeah, let's do some news, and then we can get into details of Pendragon.
Brandon Sanderson is officially getting his entire Cosmere. Well, hopefully the entire Cosmere, but for now, just Mistborn and Stormlight. But he sold the entire rights to the Cosmere.
Rights are all. Yep.
Who did he sell it to? Apple TV. Called me
Apple.
Nostradamus, baby, because I
I was
right.
You literally said Apple TV.
Everything. Here's the thing.
I remember that.
It would be the best choice for Brandon Sanderson, and it's the best choice for Apple TV because they have a million sci-fi shows and zero fantasy.
Yep.
It's a beneficial thing, and because he's been saying for a long time, I don't want someone to just do one thing. I want a partner who will make everything. And I'm like, there's literally only one choice who would be a partner with you.
Did you hear about his deals that he got?
What?
Did you hear about his rights? The deal that he?
Yeah, we're going to talk about.
Yeah, it's in this episode. This isn't the same one, but yeah. Oh no, yeah, this is it.
Yeah, no. He has probably the best deal any author has ever had. And
it's down just a little bit further.
Exactly.
Yep.
He has more.
Level of involvement not even
producer.
J.K. Rowling or George R. R. Martin has.
He's writing the scripts for at least Mistborn. He's probably not going to be writing the scripts for Stormlight, right? But he'll review them, and he has veto power. He has final approval, which is more than J.K. Rowling and George R. R. Martin both got, right?
Yeah. Which is insane.
Yes. Wow.
Well,
but it's exactly what he's always been saying he's going to get, he needs to get, he deserves to get. And he's been fighting for. So it's absolutely
that's
none of this
awesome.
is a surprise.
No,
it's great
because we've been saying this for years. He's the only author who's in the position to get that deal,
right?
And it should set a precedent, and hopefully other authors can follow suit. But he has to be the first one to do it,
which he also is very good at trying to do because he did that with all of his audiobook rights for the
secret novels,
secret projects. When he said, I could have taken a better deal with Spotify, but I said, you need to offer this same deal to everyone.
Yeah.
And he took a worse offer so that it could be offered to everyone.
Yeah. It's still, the Audible thing is still a little, he kind of went back on the Audible thing. And
a little bit, but
about that. It didn't, they made things a teeny tiny bit better for indie authors.
Yeah.
It really doesn't. It's not enough to make any kind of a difference. And
he's acknowledged that he didn't. That the changes that they actually did were not everything that he wanted, but that I think he also recognizes
he definitely
that
did do a good thing. But I wish there was more.
I think he also recognizes that a lot of his audience was like, yeah, we're happy to support what you're doing with this, but we really like using Audible, and so he wanted to be able to get them to people on Audible.
Okay,
so,
sure.
He's just got so extremely lucky. It's not all luck. He had a lot of skill, right? But he was so incredibly lucky to get, such a big, passionate fan base that he doesn't need Hollywood's money, so he can sit on his hands and wait for them to give him something, give him a deal worth taking. And a year ago, I would have been screaming from the rooftops, celebrating. I would have been ecstatic, and I still. It's so depressing that I'm not excited about this because he was our one hope, and I still think that he can make it good. I think that he can, if he listens, if he doesn't harden his heart, that this can turn around. But he was the one hope that we had against woke Hollywood. And he, without Hollywood involved at all, made his own books woke all by himself.
He was a chosen one.
He was the chosen one. He was supposed to bring balance to the woke, not join them. And Wind and Truth was so abysmally atrocious. It's hard to get excited about literally the most exciting news that has ever happened to fantasy ever. And I want to be so happy for this. And I'm just terrified. Because, I mean, he's already said, Mistborn is going to be movies. And then Stormlight's going to be TV.
That's the smart choice.
You could probably do like 1 or 2 seasons of Stormlight and then maybe do like a spin-off TV show about Vasher. Like once you meet his character in Stormlight, you know, you could do a flashback season, you know.
I really
so you can
wish
spin off, you can do his whole cosmos.
Yeah.
Like this would be so cool. He's already said, what's confusing is he already wrote screenplays for Mistborn, right? So so I don't know if he's writing them from scratch or if he's just doing like a second draft, making them better. But
he says he's taking like 5 months off to do it.
He's taking a 5-month break. And he said from the get-go, look, if Hollywood goes through, I will have to pause Ghost Bloods. He already finished the first draft, but he's like, I'm taking 5 months off. I'm going to make sure we start off good. He's like, you know, hopefully in the future this won't delay me as much, right? Because other people can come in, but he wants to make sure it goes off with a bang. Problem is, he's already talked about in his previous drafts of writing Mistborn screenplays for a movie, he's already talked about how he's going to gender swap all the characters.
Yeah, a couple of them.
And not even the characters that make sense.
Yeah.
Breeze
talked about
would
this?
make sense if it was a woman.
Breeze would make a bunch of sense.
And that's not
he's
even.
Talked about,
he said
he's talked about gender swapping Breeze in the past too.
He's not gender swapping Breeze. He's gender swapping Ham and maybe Dachshund. And you're like, that makes no freaking sense.
Yep.
Also, I don't think he should gender swap any of them. Breeze is better as a man, but if you're going to gender swap any of them, it should be Breeze.
Well, but here's just a quick take on it though. I mean, him being the author though, I think it's a little more acceptable because it is his.
I disagree.
No, this is the same thing. This is the same thing with J.K. Rowling writing Harry Potter and then say, "Oh no, Dumbledore was gay the whole time. Let's make him gay in the prequels."
Well,
that's not how you originally wrote it.
I mean,
obviously, they have the rights to what they've created, but we still have the right to say that it's objectively a bad decision and it makes the story worse. It was better before.
Here's the difference.
Yeah, certainly.
Here's the difference. He's if he does it, he's doing it for the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
I think that's clear.
If he's saying like, "Hey, look, this was one of the first books I ever wrote, and I wasn't as strong as an author, and so I wasn't good," and that's how he said it. He said, "I wasn't as good as writing female characters."
And he said that one of his intentions with writing this was to highlight the gender difference there with Vin.
Here's the
problem. And he wishes that he had done that more with the rest of them.
If he retroactively does gender swaps, whatever. Races are all fictional and whatever. If he does these gender swaps, it's not to make the story better. It's because he's literally changed as a person and he thinks DEI is good now. And that doesn't make the story better. And think about the story of Mistborn. Gender swapping these characters actively makes the story worse. These are people that they're leading a rebellion against the king. The main character is already a woman. Right. Vin is a woman. That's plenty. I'm just saying there weren't a lot statistically. You're not going to get a lot of women who would be willing to drop everything to overthrow a king. There are definitely exceptions, but most of it would be men, and so it makes sense that these characters are all men.
And the ones that weren't would be a character like Breeze
or Vin,
who's works in the shadows. He's slowly manipulating and pulling strings from the background.
It's not sexist to acknowledge that the sexes are different, that we are complementary.
Right. Yeah, no, of course not.
Okay.
The thing that I will say
we're better at different things and also more passionate about different things. And the reason that Vin works because she's got nothing to lose. She's an orphan, right?
Right. Yeah.
I will say I don't think it makes the story actively worse, depending on a couple of things. But I do agree that it doesn't necessarily make the story better.
So
So
then don't change it, right?
Uh,
If he does
and
change
I
it, we
mostly
know
agree
the
with you.
reason why
Yeah.
he's changing it isn't to make the story better.
Yeah.
Like
Doing
it's because he feels like he
unnecessary
needs to
things for
repent.
the
It's
wrong
like-
reasons, it makes it worse.
The
Doing
other
something
thing that I'll give to
unnecessary,
Jared's point is that compared to someone like, say, Amazon taking Rings of Power and changing something, and that's just like why this is so stupid. Whereas if it is the actual author, we can give a little bit more like I don't know, grace for that, because it is his own, property to begin with, not somebody else coming in, or like, again, Wheel of Time and Rafe Judkins coming in and changing things because he wants to. With it being the actual author, I can give a lot more credit to that, in the same way that I can give credit to J.K. Rowling in changing Dumbledore to be gay, because it's unnecessary. It is a retroactive change or whatever, but it's better than Rafe Judkins or Amazon coming in and changing these things.
Well, and I'll just add to that.
Probably better.
Hold on.
Let Jared's been waiting for a while.
So I think I'll just add to that comment about him specifically doing it, because the main thing that I think as the author, right, like you're writing a lot more books, and so as you develop the universe, right, like I think you can start to think about the origins of that universe and being like, okay, maybe as I've developed this story a little bit more, I've developed this lore a little bit more. Some of the basics that I'd started out with didn't make as much sense, right? And so they can go back as they're revisiting it and be like, oh, well, maybe this could make sense in a different way.
And he's done that in the past. Hold on, he's done that in the past and talked about how, if I were to go back again, it would have made more sense for Breeze to be a woman. But now he's saying, oh no, Breeze is going to be a man. I'm going to gender swap these other two characters that don't make any sense at all.
I 100% agree. If that was the case, I would be A-okay with it. But the problem is the very first thing that he said, I disagree with. When he said I wasn't as good at writing female characters, I think is bullcrap. I think he was perfectly fine at writing female characters. I think his female characters from the get-go were fantastic.
I hadn't heard that as his specific commentary. I thought his commentary was more of what I have heard of his commentary of that was actually that his attempts to be representative, he focused on having Vin be the female character and wasn't as good at remembering to do it elsewhere besides
which
just
is
the main
wrong reason. Right?
Fair, but it's different than what you said. It is different
representation doesn't make a story better. A good story makes the story better.
Yeah, but I honestly, I'm still going to be probably.
You
fine
think
with
I
it.
want this to suck? I want this to be good, man. Like I want to be so excited about this. This is literally the most groundbreaking news that has ever happened in fantasy. Ever. There's nothing that even comes close to this, and I'm not excited yet.
I'll also say, overall, I'm going to be just fine with it, with the way that it comes out, with some of the things that he's talked about, because I still mostly trust him, even with Wind and Truth. I still mostly trust him to do a good job of it, even if he's doing it the wrong reasons, whatever you want to call it. I will say, though, as much as I'm sitting here more on the defensive side of this, his explanation of saying that he wants to gender swap Ham is the exact same reason that he has Vin already as a female, and so you're doubling up. And I will give you that one. I will give you Ham being a really terrible one because he's already done that with Vin. So yeah,
exactly.
So here, it was the Hollywood Reporter that broke the news, and then a whole bunch of people started talking about it, and then he posted this on Reddit rather than in one place, right? Yeah. So this is the actual words from the author. Hey, all, news is broken, rather than what I just said, right? In May, I flew to Hollywood and to start looking for a new partner on the Cosmere. This is something I've done before, but this time it was different, and we've talked about this ad nauseum, right? He's been so close. He had actors in costume, in Mistborn costumes, auditioning for the role. They were, and it fell through.
I would kill to see that stuff.
So this is something I've done before, but he's been off the market for many years, working on video game stuff. He had skins in Fortnite, right? That means for the first time being in Hollywood, he had nothing optioned. He had he owned all of his rights since 10 years ago. Okay.
Yeah.
This time I got to meet real decision makers, not just producers or low-level executives. He's meeting with the CEOs, probably, you know. And this led to some really tough choices, probably because he got several good deals. He got red carpet treatment. I liked everyone I met.
That's his.
Did you?
I was going to say that's his being kind, so that he makes sure that he
answer.
doesn't burn bridges. Yeah, that's his tactful answer.
The decision to pick Apple was due to two factors. The level of first was the approval and control. Awesome.
Yep.
Apple wants to be a true partner with me, which is what he's always looking for, and that's why he didn't want to do crowdfunding in the past. They feel like they really get what I want to do. Second is their track record. Apple does fewer things, but with higher quality than some studios, and I find virtually everything of theirs is excellent. Most everything.
And creator driven, though, I think is a point that he probably cares about the most.
Yeah. Creator driven. Yep. They don't have any fantasy. That's like the biggest. They need this.
Some really good sci-fi, but
join me, and he already knows in 20 years when his shows turn into sci-fi, they'll be good at it, right? Join me for a live stream on Friday. Yes,
he actually canceled that, so that didn't end up happening.
Okay. Yeah. He's writing 5 months writing Mistborn. The goal is theatrical and then a Stormlight TV show. Want it right. Hopefully I won't get too distracted, but I want it. That's it. We already said this. So
and that's that saying that was. I wonder if it turned out that he still wasn't able to actually talk about it, but because Hollywood, I bet you that there was, hey, you really probably still can't say anything about it, even though it's out. That's my guess, but I don't know.
Maybe. He got a gag order.
Yeah,
maybe.
I'm definitely excited.
Groundbreaking news.
But
this is the best deal.
Excited.
Yeah.
No.
I'm the same way. I'm still excited for him. I hope it turns out. I hope he listens to criticism.
I will also
feedback,
say he got a lot of negative feedback on Wind and Truth, and Wind and Truth is the kind of thing that could be saved in adaptation.
Yeah,
because I don't
true.
dislike the destinations of any of the characters in Wind and Truth, but their journey sucked. So you can fix some things in Wind and Truth, have the characters end up in the exact same place, and it will be better.
Just execute it a little bit better, yeah. And again,
it
being a TV show, you might have more time for it to develop and
more time than a 40-hour audiobook. Wind and Truth is longer than that.
That's true.
More time than a movie, David.
No, max, you're going to get 10 hours a
TV
season.
Show.
Right.
Yeah.
No.
I'm pretty sure Wind and Truth was longer than 40 hours. Hold on.
It might have been 60
pretty long.
Yeah.
It took me so long to finish.
I am probably a little bit more positive on all this than you guys are in terms of.
Dude, it's 62 hours long. And 48 minutes. It's 63 hours long. The first book was 40 hours.
I'd be okay with 63 hours of a TV show for Stormlight.
Yeah.
I would be okay. I wouldn't be okay if it was 62 hours of what we got in Wind and Truth. That would be torture. But I would be okay with it.
I will say I'm overall a little bit
imagine
more positive than most of you guys are with regards to Brandon and the adaptation of that. My reluctance comes in because I remember when Ender's Game was coming out, the movie was coming out. I was so excited about that, and knowing just how difficult it is to really effectively translate something from a great book to a good TV show is just so hard. That's where my reluctance and my trepidation comes in.
That's the problem.
And knowing that Brandon will do the best that he can, even the best attempts are hit and miss sometimes.
That's the problem with
Ender's
Game specifically. Ender's Game is not a bad adaptation. It's just a bad movie.
Yeah, that's part of my problem too. Is because
I thought it was a good movie.
See, we know that Brandon Sanderson is a good author of novels.
It's kind of varied depending on the TV show.
It's different going into another genre, and
You're
we see that
right,
a lot of time. We see that a lot of time with other actors or something that want to dabble their hand in directing, or people that are like Dave Filoni, for example, he
Right.
made a whole bunch of animated TV shows. That doesn't mean he can jump in and direct live action right off the bat. I think it was a
We'll run
little bit
company.
rough.
Yeah. We'll see.
I think
Sorry,
he's.
are we just we're just glossing over the fact that you think that Dave Filoni made anything good to begin with?
He did.
I
He
think
made
he
a
did,
lot
and
of
I
great
think,
things.
yeah, but he couldn't just. I mean, he
it's
had
also
to have a
pretty
lot of.
ironic. It's pretty ironic that David is making this point that hey, sometimes actors can't just pick up the camera and start directing. When he was the one defending Bryce Dallas Howard's episodes of The Mandalorian,
I thought
so
good.
screw you because those were terrible.
in season 3 for sure, absolutely.
Oh,
Every
season
episode
3, yeah,
she
that was-
directed was garbage.
No,
No, the ones in season 1 and 2 were decent. I thought they were pretty good.
Charles, what were you gonna say?
This is so stupid.
I forgot.
Henry Cavill would be a horrible Kaladin. The
wondered
only
about
way it would work is if he was Henry Cavill from the Count of Monte Cristo. He would have to be that young for it to
Yeah.
work.
Oh, dang.
I
was
think-
in Count of Monte Cristo.
Yeah,
he's
he's
my.
If you look at him in that
Yeah.
movie, you're like, yeah, he could play Kaladin.
Yeah, because I do think
I
he's too old.
love
But
Henry Cavill. He would be a better Dalinar,
Vasher.
or
No.
that. He would be an amazing
he'd be a
Vasher.
good
He could be
Vasher.
Kelsier.
He'd be a great Vasher.
He could be Kelsier,
I
Vasher.
don't
He
know
could be
about-
Dalinar. He could be
Yeah.
Dalinar's
Yes,
brother.
Kelsier.
He could be
Kelsier's the
Davenor.
one that I've actually heard the most of. That's right. You're fine. You're right. Okay.
Which one?
Kelsier.
Kelsier is the one that I've seen actually more than Kaladin. Here's the thing, and this is something that we are going to have to like recognize and acknowledge because Brandon has talked a lot about this. All of the characters in Stormlight Archive are much more Asian than most people depict them. So
Yeah.
he will not be any Alethi character. I guarantee you that because both Brandon feels that way and he's got this strong control, and Henry Cavill is that kind of fan that would also follow what Brandon is saying about that. So he would not be any Alethi character.
I guarantee
Vasher would be great.
Yeah,
The-
he would be
the
good
reason
for
it's so
Vasher,
big,
and
though-
it specifically points out that Vasher looks different than the
forgetting
rest
that
of
they're
the
Asian.
people. in-
the fun
Yes.
thing though.
Yes.
Here's the cool
they're,
thing.
They're not standard Asian like you see. They're more
Right.
Mongolian, right?
They're not.
yeah, Mongolian.
That's what he said.
Yeah, they're Mongolian again.
Right.
So they're not going to be Henry Cavill.
Attila
They're not
the
going to
Hun.
look like
Right.
Henry Cavill.
Okay, the point is, the reason it's so cool is Henry Cavill has said for years, like, I will play any character
Anything.
Brandon Sanderson wants me to.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So I guarantee 95% of the casting is going to be no names.
yeah.
And you
Yeah,
have to.
and I
you
think
can't
that's better.
Cast famous people. Maybe in roles where you know the character like immediately dies. Like maybe like Yoland in Mistborn. He's the noble who's part of the crew in Mistborn, who dies in the first book. Like you could put a big name there.
Yeah.
You know, you
I
could
don't
do
want
it. You
it's
could
too distracting. The whole time you're just like, oh, Henry Cavill.
like you could cast Sean Bean as someone who dies right away. You know, as you could cast Sean Bean.
Right?
You could cast Sean Bean as Gavilar. You know,
Oh yeah, there you go.
because
Again,
he'll be.
You need
You
more
know,
Mongolian.
he does like
Yeah,
maybe
okay.
a few seconds of screen time, and then
Yeah.
maybe bring him back in like season 5
I was
for a
going to say
flashback.
we come
you know?
back to him enough times with seeing that scene from since we see
But
it.
95% of them should
Yeah.
and will be no names. But then and then Henry Cavill hopefully be like, hey, I'll do it for free. You know, like
Yeah.
he'd still take, but
Yeah.
maybe you can get him as someone like Kelsier. But yeah,
Vasher would be. I actually like the Vasher. look a
Vasher
little
would be
better
perfect
because
he would
the
be a
biggest thing
perfect
is-
Vasher.
The biggest problem for me with Kaladin and him is he's like I look at him in that Count of Monte Cristo and say that would be a great Kelsier because again I see him as a lot younger. I see
Yeah.
like I
Well,
look at
Kaladin's
Kelsier
like
and
18
Marsh.
in the first book, right? Or 18 or
Yeah,
19. he's
he's
very
not
young.
really
young
young.
now.
Yeah.
He's
But
very
he's still pretty young. But like I look at them as like okay, think about
Simu Luke, go,
Les
please.
Miserables.
Get out of here, Mark.
I'm thinking about Les Miserables. Like you've got those.
Oh,
those
people
kinds
are
of
pushing him?
characters.
People. Oh, shut up.
No.
Yeah,
No.
I'd be okay with it. But
honestly, Daniel Henney was a good actor. He just got given garbage. So
Which one's Daniel Henny?
I'm looking it up.
Lan, Al Mandragon from Wheel of Time.
Oh yeah.
There's nothing wrong with him as an actor. He was just given garbage.
He's too old for Kaladin though. But he
Kaladin
would make a good Dalinar.
Kaladin wouldn't be Asian. That's the thing.
Kaladin wouldn't be Asian.
Kaladin would be.
He's still a lefty. He's just not royal.
He's still a lefty. Yeah.
But you could. But see.
But the actor
I think,
for
no,
the
you're
actor
right.
for
He would
Lan
make a
would
good Dalinar, though.
Dalinar.
I think you'd have to
Yeah.
distinguish a little bit more between like the dark eyes and the light eyes.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Although that's the thing. That's something that you could just do with either contacts or CGI on people's eyes. Like, if you find ways to highlight it in the show. And yeah, if you have to CGI it, that's going to be somewhat expensive, but like, yeah, you can do that with contacts really well and make it good. I think that'd be great.
I forgot he was also a lefty. I was just thinking of the royalty.
Yeah.
But I don't know. So that's my main thing. I've heard Kaladin or not Kaladin, Kelsier and Marsh for Henry Cavill, and Marsh would be kind of an interesting one to do as well.
Because then you don't want to cover up that face though.
You'd have to cover him up too much.
Right? You don't want to stab out Henry Cavill's eyes.
But as soon as you guys said Vasher, I love that.
Yeah, Vasher's my number one.
Curious because I think Jared, so he points out that Vasher looks.
Are we spoiling the books for you? You've read the books, right?
No, I've read the books. Okay. All I'm saying is I think we're missing a very big opportunity here.
Zendaya?
Who's going to be playing? No,
Who?
Sydney Sweeney. Come
Sydney
on.
Sweeney.
Oh, no. Okay, Sydney Sweeney.
Look, Sydney Sweeney. I wouldn't. Look,
Siri?
the only way I accept the gender swap is if Sydney Sweeney plays Ham.
Okay, there you go. That's good.
All right, you heard it here first.
I think Sydney Sweeney could play the
because imagine it, pewter arm.
Yeah,
big Sydney Sweeney.
Oh boy. No,
get Gina Carano in as a gender swapped Ham.
Yeah, there you go.
I mean, if you're gonna do it, that would kind of work out.
That would make sense. Okay, I'm back on board.
I'd actually be unironically okay with that.
Again, I still agree
Sweeney,
that is probably a dumb idea to gender swap Ham because again, you've already done what you're wanting to do with gender swapping Ham. You've already done with Vin. You talked about how that's a big thing that you did with Vin.
She's way too old to play Vin. She's way too old to play Vin. She'd be a horrible Shallan.
No, I think.
Do you cast Sydney Sweeney as Navani?
No, you've got to go with like Ciri or with Vivenna. Vivenna would be a good Vivenna or Ciri would be good.
No, I think the perfect role for her would be the full blown.
Ciri would have more sex scenes though. So.
It's true.
Okay.
Who's the Mistborn that Vin fights at the end of middle-ish? She'll die.
Definitely a nobleman in Mistborn. Yeah, she would make a great.
She was the surprise Mistborn
the noble lady.
Vin fights and she dies.
It was like a not Venture.
It was another S
guy. It's like no, that's Savariel's. That's Stormlight Archive.
I don't remember.
One of the nobles who turned out to be a Mistborn, yeah. Right. I thought you were talking about book 2. I was like, no, that was a guy. The Mistborn in book 2 is a boy.
Or if you want to do second era, she could be
she could absolutely be
what's her name?
Sarah, not
Marasi.
She could be
girlfriend?
She could be Marasi. But not Saris.
I think
you want to see you want to see
either one.
You want to see
might be a better Staris.
You want to see autistic Sydney Sweeney?
I think
she'd be a better Marasi.
Or she could be the Kandra.
Or she could be the Kandra too.
Ooh,
shape-shifting boobies.
Milan, yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Milan's supposed to be Asian too, right?
No,
what about Ciri from Warbreaker?
Milan's
we already said that.
The Kandra.
Oh,
right,
Charles. We already said that because she gets all the sex scenes.
Oh yeah.
All the drawings
too busy looking up
as an Asian.
Oh, Milan. Probably because the name sounds kind of Asian, but she's a Kandra, so she can look like whatever the heck
she wants. Yeah, you're right.
Oh yeah, he would cast a tiny woman. So that,
for Vin, absolutely. For Vin, he's absolutely
no. For Ham.
Oh, for Ham. Yeah. Well, but again, that's my point as to why that's actually a terrible choice because you're already doing it with Vin.
But
Yeah.
Gina
Like,
Carano would
again,
actually, I would not be upset with Gina Carano as Ham.
Yeah, right.
That would actually work.
That's the thing. I am not as against the gender swapping of some of the random ones as you guys are, but Ham, you're right. That's dumb because he's already done that with it.
If you're willing to wait, I'd be okay with Sydney Sweeney as Tress.
Yeah, that would actually work really well.
I actually think that fits. I think that fits pretty.
Yeah, actually,
that fits really well.
Either that, or you make her the Asian in Yumi and the Nightmare Painter.
No.
You yellow face Sydney Sweeney.
No.
That needs to be
because you do get you get bathing scenes.
Oh, that's true. No, that needs to be what's her name that was in the movie, the Hawaiian movie or whatever, where she was supposed to be like.
Oh, she played half Asian Hawaiian. You're talking about the redhead
Emma Stone.
Emma Stone.
Yeah, Emma Stone. Yeah, that needs to be Emma Stone. Is gosh.
Oh, you want Emma Stone to play Yumi?
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Gotcha.
That would be funny. That would be funny in
joke. Her name is Sean. Sean is the.
Sean. Oh yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I should have known that. She's in the Mistborn game.
Right. Yeah. That's what I was thinking. Like, I think she's one of the players in the Mistborn.
Sean Alariel, right? Alariel.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
That sounds great.
Mark sent me some pictures. Hold on.
Yeah. Oh dear.
Are these shareable?
We opened the can of worms, fellas.
I mean, I'm pretty sure we've been demonetized through the first minute.
Yeah, that's true.
Wait a second. This is okay. I don't think this really looks like Sydney Sweeney that much. Hold on. That doesn't look like Sydney Sweeney. Her face.
It doesn't. It doesn't look like her.
Just kind of, but not.
It looks more like Jenna Ortega.
Yeah, it doesn't look like
I can see. Yeah, this is
obviously
AI.
Yeah.
The problem is Sydney Sweeney is one of the few actresses in Hollywood who hasn't gotten that surgery to remove her buccal fat.
Yeah.
So she's got a pretty round face.
Buckle, by the way.
Huh?
It's pronounced buckle, by the way.
Buccal fat? I've been saying buccal.
My wife's a dental hygienist,
I've
so
been
I know
saying
the terminology.
buccal on this show for like 3 years, and you're telling me just now it's pronounced buckle fat?
I only heard you say it one other time, and I went to double check it after you said it, and so I made sure.
First of all, thank you, but also that's dumb. Buckle is already a different thing.
Right.
Buccal would make more sense because it sounds like mucus.
Yep.
Buccal. It's buckle.
Yeah. You can see some features of Sydney Sweeney in there, but it's like
her face is not as round as it should be here.
It's not. This isn't her.
Here's the thing.
I mean, I think it's the concept we're talking about.
Charles, that's because it's AI.
Here's the thing. Vin does a lot of bouncing around, okay?
Yeah.
And I understand the appeal of wanting to cast Sydney Sweeney in that role, but practically, it's not the best decision.
Yeah. That's why she could be the noble woman that you get that one fight scene and you're like, whoa, what's going on here?
You just get one really bouncy fight scene.
That'll be the equivalent of the Sir Long scene.
We're talking
Sir
about
Long penny tree.
Yes.
Yeah.
You say tomato, I say buccal. Way too young.
Tomato.
Yeah, Vin. How old is Vin? Is she like 14?
Vin's young.
Really
She's
young.
got to be young.
Yeah,
well,
he's definitely too old. Player. Vin.
Oh, she's not that young. She gets married in the second book, and there's like a 1
I think
year
she's
time
16.
jump.
That's right.
No, is it
she's
2
16,
years?
but she's small.
I think there's like a 2-year time jump in the second book, but she gets married very young.
Yeah, so
She's
she
like
might be 16 in the first one.
Gets married at 18.
At 18, that one fits. That tracks.
Yeah, 16.
And that's the
17 during the first book, 18 to 19 in the second book, and early 20s in the third.
If she was as young as she was in Buffy, that would be a great Vin.
That's the thing too, is like, again, looking at when Orson Scott Card was talking about adapting Ender's Game and how much they always wanted to like age up Ender to like 16 and 18 and this, that, and the other, and he tried to fight against that as often as he could. I think this is one of those situations where with Vin, you could age her up in the first one to be as old as 18, but no older than that. She still has to be pretty young.
She would have to
so
be.
You
18,
could get away, but you could add a couple of years. You can't add 6 or 12 years like they're trying to do in Ender's Game for that. But you could do
Ender's Game though. It was more so like. He understood, practically if this is going to exist, you have to age him up a little bit. The problem that it came with is they always wanted to put him in a romantic relationship as as aging him up, and he's like, that's the deal breaker. Like you can age him up, but you can't. That's not what it's about.
Yeah. And in the movie that they did make, they did have to age him up because they also had one actor for the entire 6 years that's happening in Ender's Game. And so, putting him somewhere kind of in that target area rather than having him be a 6-year-old at the beginning of the movie. Yeah.
What about Emma Myers?
Emma Myers. I feel like
she was in Wednesday and the Minecraft movie.
Oh, is she the?
Oh,
okay.
She looks really young.
She
looks really young.
Yeah,
as Vin.
I could see that.
She looks young.
It's also.
I don't know how well of an actress she is.
No, you need someone who's damaged to play Vin.
Yeah.
You can't get like.
I will also say
sweet,
we got to realize that this is going to be at least 2 or 3 years before it gets on the screen.
Right.
So you need to be picking someone who is probably currently 18.
You
will be 20 or something like that when they're acting, pretending to be 16 or 18.
You have to cast the high school goth chick as Vin.
So Bella Ramsey.
No, an actual high school.
Sorry, I was picking.
You know what?
No.
I'll take Bella Ramsey as a Kolos. It's the only way. Okay. I think we've talked about this quite a bit. Going back a little bit to the Hedge Knight.
Yes.
The artist of the guy who did the art, Mark S. Miller.
Mm-hmm.
Mike. It's Mark Millar and Mike S. Miller.
Yep.
Mike S. Miller, the artist who did Hedge Knight and all of the Night of the Seven Kingdoms comic books. He did the comic book for Shad Brooks and a whole Injustice comic books. He had a stroke, and there's a give, send, go for him. He's a cool guy.
Yikes.
So, yeah.
I didn't know
he's
about
great.
that.
He's doing all right. He's recovering, but it's slow. I haven't heard from him, but Shad has been keeping up with him a lot because they're best friends. They always
been on a lot of streams together. Yeah.
Mark, it was a stretch, but you got it in. You got it in right at the buzzer.
Let's go.
Yep.
Jared's mother's grandkids could play Vin.
Well, by the time they adapt it, I think that's what he's going for, right? By the time they adapt it,
exactly.
Right on target.
That's hey, Jared.
Real quick
That's
before we
the
move
joke,
on,
Jared. Congratulations.
Did we also want to mention that we lost Catherine O'Hara the other day?
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Catherine O'Hara.
Yeah. Home Alone mom.
Home Alone mom. Yeah.
Mom.
Oh
Sheep's Creek
wow.
and all that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow.
I don't think we have no one knows how she died, right? They just said she died.
All that I've heard was that she after a short illness she died. So yeah, that's all that I've heard so far.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to mention though too that there was news about Bella Ramsey and The Last of Us.
What?
I don't know. I don't know the validity.
I saw there was Last of Us news. They said the Last of Us season 3 will focus on Abby's character.
well, I saw a quick snippet, and maybe like I said, I don't know the validity of this, but I saw a thing that said that she was being removed, like she wasn't going to be on the next season.
That's weird.
The next season is
it's because
pure
it's
flashback about Abby.
Well, and like she was like they were taking her off the team, sort of thing. But
well, that's hard to do when the entire
cast.
Show's about her.
Yeah,
jeez, I could.
I know, but
honestly, season 3 might be better for that.
Yeah, it's probably just a clickbait title because it's going to be
More like
on a different
the
character
last
than
of
coming
our
back.
credibility.
I don't know.
Yeah. You don't like the Home Alone movies? Oh, they're great. I'm not a fan of Beetlejuice either, but everyone loves that one.
I actually did just watch Beetlejuice for the first time this last year or so. It was.
Yeah.
I still liked it, but people blow it out of proportion. But she was great in it.
Yeah.
She's
good in it.
Come Mr. Tallyman scene. She did such a great job selling that. That was beautifully done.
Okay, here's
I
my
don't
problem
like
with Beetlejuice. I think it's a horrible movie. I appreciate the craft. I think the sets and the aesthetic are incredible. Like the practical effects that they did on that movie and the world building are amazing, and the story is retarded, and the stupid Deo possession scene.
Yeah,
it was so well done.
It was dumb.
It was dumb, but it was so well done. Oh,
I don't
disagree.
get it. I don't understand why people like the movie. I don't understand why people think that scene is funny. It's not funny. It's not scary. Yeah, I know it's not supposed to be scary.
I agree it's not scary. I don't even find it all that hilarious.
It's
but
not
I think she did a great job.
I don't even know what it's supposed to be, because it's not a joke. It's not scary. It's not smart. It's not good writing. It's just it's such a dumb movie.
Agreed, 100%. I do like some of the thing. I was wanting it to be better.
Obviously, I'm sad she's dead.
Yeah. I think she's a good actress.
Yeah.
Even though I didn't enjoy
her through Schitt's Creek, which was really entertaining. I enjoyed her bits in Last of Us.
Oh, she's in The Last of Us as well, right?
Yeah. Right? Forgot about that part.
Oh, it's because I didn't watch that season, man. I couldn't get past the second episode. It was so garbage.
Oh, yeah.
Well, she was only in a couple of them.
You guys
wait.
You guys kept updating me on stuff that was happening. I'm like, I'm so glad.
You know what? The mom from Home Alone was in The Last of Us?
Yeah, she's the therapist, Joel's therapist.
Yep. She's the wife of the guy that Joel killed.
Yeah.
Killed. Yeah.
Because he found out that Joel killed all those other guys.
Yep. I didn't watch that. I watched the first episode. I'm like, nah.
It's so garbage. Such a garbage show.
Yep.
Point of the story is, Beetlejuice 2, the movie, the show. Because we resubscribed to HBO, I was scrolling through, saw Beetlejuice, and I'm like, I have zero desire to click this button, even though it's free.
Winona Ryder's in it too, right?
It's a free movie. Winona Ryder is in it. That goth chick that Jenny Ortega from Wednesday is in it, and everyone likes her. She's pretty. If you're into extremely young looking women. I couldn't even, I was like, it wasn't even a temptation. Like I just scrolled right past it.
Yeah, I've never really
it's not even worth it.
Yeah, it was kind of the same for me.
I think the musical of those
maybe one day.
The Beetlejuice musical. I've seen clips of on YouTube and I think it's. I have a problem with musicals, but I will say the clips that I have seen from the Beetlejuice musical, which are mostly just of the character Beetlejuice improvising stuff, because the benefit of that show is that things can go wrong and it's okay.
Yeah.
Have been pretty funny.
Yeah, they're really funny. Yeah, but that's all I know of it as well.
I do also think that most musical theater is super gay. And I hate it. There are good musicals. There are a lot of good musicals. There are way more bad musicals. Okay.
Yeah, that's probably true. But there's some really fun ones. I saw the
there was a cartoon,
Monty Python and the Holy Grail musical. It's really good.
I've heard about that one.
It adds some stuff from that's not in the movie.
What character does Martina want Henry Cavill to play? She would want Kaladin because he'd be shirtless the whole time.
Yeah,
it's not spelled like buckle, is it?
It's not. It's spelled
It's
the way
spelled
you've been pronounced
buccal?
it, BUCC or whatever. Yeah, it's
I like my ladies with their buccal. I like my women like I like my coffee. Buccal fat maintained, intact.
Yeah.
I like to
I also
inject.
like
I
this
like
because it makes
I
it
like
seem like-
extra buccal fat injected into my coffee.
I like the way that he has this written though, because spelling it like buckle like that makes it seem like just a little around the middle, around the buckle.
See, that's why it doesn't make sense. It's like it sounds like a muffin top.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Buckle fat sounds like muffin top.
I
I hear
get
you.
that's how it's said. It's stupid. Change the word.
I'm not going to disagree.
Change
with
the
you.
word.
I'm not going to disagree with
Okay,
you. But
it's
no.
like weenus.
Yeah.
No one's taking you seriously. Okay. No one cares that that's called your weenus. The only people that care are middle schoolers. Okay. Grow up and call it an elbow. Do better, weenus.
Yeah.
You can touch your weenus with a phone call. You can get your buccal fat removed with an email. Do better.
Yeah.
It's been a while since we've called back to Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Falcon and Winter Soldier, yeah.
Pubic fat.
Well, that I guess you could call that buckle fat, I suppose. Talking about the cartoon. Yeah.
My thing for Henry Cavill begins and ends with Witcher. I need the wig, the voice, the leather pants.
And that's why I would say that well,
yeah, there you go,
Vasher.
Vasher. Yeah, he would be great for
Vasher. That's where Kelsier would work, because Kelsier is blonde, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
So Kelsier or Marsh would work pretty well with that.
Yeah, he could do a Kelsier.
Okay. Point of the story.
I still think he needs to be younger, but yeah,
I agree.
We got
Ted Lasso.
Ted Lasso season 4.
He could also be Light Song, though.
I don't know why this exists.
Oh, I haven't seen Ted Lasso.
He would be
I haven't seen any of it.
Light Song.
This time he's coaching girls soccer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I don't get why they're doing
I don't know.
it.
I never.
I don't know if he would be a
it.
good Light
I don't get
Song,
it.
David.
What?
I don't know.
I
I
think
don't. Maybe Henry
Cavill,
could do
no,
it?
as Light Song, that's bad.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because Light Song, this big, gorgeous, Adonis god, like that works.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I just. I would be sad.
He's not a
to
very
have him
funny
in the
guy,
role,
though.
but-
Light Song's funny.
That's true.
Yeah,
I mean, he
he's
can be
more
pretty
goofy.
funny. Have you seen Henry Cavill in interviews? He can be.
He's
pretty
funny, but he doesn't
Yeah.
look funny. He
Think
looks
about
serious. That's the thing
Stardust.
that's so
Well, and
lovable
that's the
about
thing.
him. He's a
Light Song doesn't
Chad
have to look
with a
funny.
nerd inside.
Yeah.
Maybe
He doesn't have to look funny. He just
Okay.
has to act funny. And if you look at like Stardust, he played a good foppish kind of guy there.
Yeah, exactly.
He could
Exactly.
probably be okay at Stardust.
Yeah, he was.
Is he the main
he was
character in Stardust?
No, he was the suitor
he's-
guy. He was
he's the boyfriend, yeah, he's
rival.
the-
Oh
suitor.
my goodness,
Yeah.
he is. What the heck?
Right.
Well,
What
you,
We've had
you
this
know that
conversation before.
I think we've had
before.
this exact.
I still don't believe you,
conversation
though.
before.
I was gonna say, you also know that it's Daredevil is the main guy, right? You do know that's Daredevil.
Yeah, I
that
know
one
that.
threw me
Right.
for a loop
He looks
too when
crazy
I went
different
back to
now.
that. Yeah,
It's because of the long hair.
because he's actually focusing his eyes.
Right.
It's funny what long hair does to you.
Yeah.
Dude, I did not know this. What the heck?
Right? Go back and watch Stardust now. It is
Well,
wild.
it's-
to
same
watch.
thing
You're
with-
like,
same thing with
that's
Count of
how
Monte
Stardust-
Cristo.
So much.
Same thing with Count of
Totally
Monte
agree with
Cristo.
you,
I
Mark.
went back and
I
watched
need
that.
to-
I'm like, holy crap, that's Henry Cavill right there.
I still need to watch that one. I need
Oh
to.
my
Yeah.
goodness.
Speaking of Henry Cavill, we're moving on from Ted
We're
Lasso.
moving on
Highlander
from
remake.
Henry Cavill.
Yeah.
No.
I'll
We
watch
got-
it. I'm excited to see it,
these-
but I agree.
so
It's like, okay, whatever.
These aren't just teasers. These are it's currently in production. These are photos taken on set in costume.
yeah.
This is what Henry Cavill will look like in Highlander.
Nice.
I love it.
Yeah,
I love it.
Nice.
Too.
I've only seen the first Highlander movie. It's very mediocre, but I liked it. and I might have to go watch all of the crappy ones now.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for this.
That looks phenomenal.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh man, it's
next,
hard for Henry Cavill not to be amazing.
There's more strikes in Hollywood, and they don't make any sense.
Wait, what?
I'm genuinely confused. So the Writers Guild of Africa staff authorized a strike accusing the Writers Guild of America leaders of bargaining in bad faith on the previous strike, I think. This makes no sense.
Yeah, I don't understand why they went on strike the first time. So, whatever, you do you. I'm just waiting for one of these strikes to happen and Dr. Horrible's Sing Along Blog 2 come of it.
That's never gonna happen.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Oh,
never gonna happen, unfortunately.
Dr. Horrible's Sing Along Blog was great.
Okay.
Yeah.
I found a clip. This is not it.
Okay.
Every time we talk about AI, I've talked about how the best use case for it is you're going to be able to film movies, have actors give real performances, and then just and fill in the background, or like replace the background with a sci-fi set.
Right.
And
you still have to touch it up later. Afterwards.
I literally on X, I saw that exact same. That the thing I've been saying, this is what it is going to be used for. I saw someone do it, and then they deleted their post.
Oh.
And I'm pissed off. This is close. This is not what I wanted to show you today. Okay? The original clip, it was just a guy and a girl. They did a scene on a beach, and he replaced himself with a cartoon version of himself. And he replaced the girl's entire outfit. So it gave her real performance, changed her costume, and added stuff to the back, like changed the skyline and added items that they picked up, right? She picked something up off the beach and it was like a fish and added that, right? Sure. So he basically very quickly made Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Yeah.
And it was a character he drew. So he drew this character, trained an AI on it, and then just filmed himself, had the AI replace it. That's what AI is for.
Yeah.
This is close. This is not what I wanted.
This is not.
This is one aspect, and it's not done nearly as well as.
No.
Right.
Yeah.
And there's
that's
some
not done as well.
And even in this one, you get some artifacting around the replacement.
Some pretty bad artifacting, actually.
Right there.
But I get,
there's this one as well is more impressive. This is a little bit closer, but it's still not what I wanted to show you. Still very impressive. Like the entire background gets replaced, and the entire performance gets replaced, which isn't what was in the original thing, but the performance is mimicked, which is pretty cool.
It's just like a newer, more high-tech version of motion capture, right?
Now,
motion
the
capture
voice,
without the expensive.
The problem with doing this is the voice doesn't match, right? You can tell, hey, this is Leonardo DiCaprio, and he's not speaking, right?
Right.
Hello?
Christopher.
May I ask who's calling?
Hey, Christopher, this is Giuliano Massarelli. I was reaching out about the life insurance inquiry sent in. Did you end up getting that in place?
I've already asked, I don't know how many times we take it off your call list. I'm good. You don't order that.
Oh, okay. So you got your family protected.
That's incredible.
That's really good. That is incredible motion capture. Yeah. Holy cow.
Which one's the original? Is the original the bottom one? Yeah. Okay. That's why I was confused for a second because I thought it was the other way around.
It's confusing because he's basically acting out a scene from The Wolf of Wall Street, but this is not The Wolf of Wall Street. This is a fake version.
I was
yeah,
because I was also thinking that Leo didn't look right. There was something off about, but he looked like he was real. So yeah. Anyway,
right, but you could draw your own character or have a 3D model of a character that you want to do, or an alien or whatever, and you could do your own performance and then just make it look like your 3D assets. You know, it doesn't have to be. This is just a tech demo, but it doesn't have to be Leonardo DiCaprio.
I'm okay with that. Zachary Levi would make a good Light Song. I agree.
I don't know. He doesn't have the. I mean, you think of Light Song, you think of like a strong, big.
No, he could do it. He could do a Light Song for sure.
But you think of him from Shazam, and he's got into the shape that kind of works for it, and he could kind of pull.
Yeah,
I think that's a little too goofy. That's goofier than I think Light Song is. I think Light Song is more laissez-faire, more kind of throwaway than that.
I think of like a young Patrick Warburton for Light Song, like a big. I don't know, like Kronk, but not as ridiculous.
Yeah. Isn't that incredible though?
But yeah, not quite as
much. No, that's really good, and that's what AI needs to be used for. It needs to be a tool, not to just throw in stuff and replace, existing thing or whatever. It's just it needs to be a tool to supplement your work, and you need to do work beforehand, and you need to go do touch-ups afterwards.
Or for stuff like this.
The problem is that, anybody can go on and generate images and videos and stuff, and they don't know how to do it. And then the general media just like, oh yeah, that's crap. It looks awful. Yeah, it looks awful if you don't put your time into it. And if
exactly. And what's its biggest flaw right now? It's performances. It looks really good, but the delivery is awful. It's like so you get a real performance from a real actor, and the CGI is instantaneous.
Yeah, agreed.
But this is what AI is actually made for, because the existence of AI slop implies the existence of an AI gem, and that's what this is, baby. Oh no, hold on. This is the funniest thing I've seen.
Oh no! Oh no!
It's too funny. Look.
Okay, I'm
Charlie
worried.
Kirk. We could laugh at this together. You will never guess the plot twist in this, okay?
Oh,
I guarantee you.
Hold
it's
on.
hilarious.
Okay.
I also guarantee you Charlie Kirk would have laughed at this, okay?
He laughed at
counting or not counting gang violence.
What?
He laughed at the names escaping me. The dumb
he laughed at South Park, okay?
Yeah, of course he would laugh at. He laughed at South Park. I'm sure he would laugh at this.
This is
I don't know what
hilarious.
it is
yet. Okay.
Okay.
What it is yet.
Counting or not counting gang violence.
It's so good. It's the future we should have had.
That was impressive. AI did all of that. Wow.
Someone did the editing.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
The way they pixelated it, like it was taken from a bad photo and then zoomed out, with bad screen footage. Wow. Who'd have thunk?
Yeah. We want to get a little political now?
I mean, I guess that was a perfect segue.
That was a segue.
We segue when AI. It was obvious. It's a clear line. AI led us to Charlie Kirk, and now Charlie Kirk lets us get a little bit political. So there was another ICE shooting.
Yeah.
That's part of why I was late. I was talking to the other people about that.
This is how you can just completely dismiss anything the Democrats say. Is they digitally altered the image of the guy because he wasn't attractive enough. This is what CNN used. It's fake.
This is
the real
AI.
photo.
Do we know if they use AI?
Yes. This is very clearly AI.
Yeah.
They thought people aren't going to rally behind this guy. He's too ugly. We're going to make him look more handsome. It's
they looked at
this
Luigi Mangiame or whatever, and that's literally the lesson that they took from Luigi.
It's Luigi
the murderer,
Mangione or whatever.
Mangione.
The dude that shot the CEO.
I think he was mixing up Luigi Mangione and Zora Mamdani.
I was Luigi Mandami.
It's literally the sexual harassment meme. Okay,
it literally is. Yes,
and lest you forget, this is what they did to Joe Rogan during COVID when they're like, "Oh, he took the horse tranquilizer." They made him look sick. By changing the color filter, like he's gonna die. When this is what the original video looked like. Don't believe
very dishonest.
Like you could, I don't. You don't even have to give leftists the time of day. Everything they say is a lie. They can't tell the truth because their arguments are not based in truth, and they completely fall apart when you shine light on them. This ran yesterday. Obviously, no, this is fake. But he's already getting a Netflix adaptation as well.
Of course,
I knew it. I knew there was going to be a black joke.
This is awful.
This is terrible.
Yep.
It's terrible. No.
I'm just done.
I just don't like that there's more people dying. As stupid as they may have been in getting involved, I just don't like
it's horrible. It's horrible they died.
Terrible.
He was also beating up police. He was
actively resisting. He was actively resisting arrest, and he did not disclose that he had a weapon on him. It is not the police officer's fault that he died.
Yeah,
it's terrible.
But it is a tragedy that he died.
Yeah. That being said, I hate how this has been covered on both sides. A lot of the
100%
outlets are like, he shouldn't be carrying a gun.
No,
he
absolutely has the right to carry a gun.
Exactly.
It's really stupid to be carrying a gun and impeding law enforcement at the same time.
Yes.
And
on top of that, resisting arrest.
I haven't looked into this as much as I did even on Renee Good, which I generally try to avoid.
You have a right to carry a gun anywhere. You don't have a right to impede law enforcement and resist arrest. And doing
it does sound like he
with a gun.
Yeah, it does sound like he's done it repeatedly as well. There's several other videos of him.
12 days before this happened, like he literally kicked out the tail light of a cop car.
Yeah, it also does kind of look like they tackled him to the ground and then shot him when he was on the ground.
They shot him after. So it wasn't. It's a horrible mistake. A gunshot went off because the guy's gun was a Sig something. It's known. Yes, it's a Sig P320, which is known for misfiring. For misfiring. There's been a whole bunch of YouTubers who literally show you can literally just tap the slide and it goes off.
Yeah.
So one
of the officers,
it's
also a stupid thing to have that. Then,
exactly. So one of the officers took his gun and it went off, and the other after they'd already said gun, the other officer thinks
because it was a hodgepodge. The officer did not know he was disarmed.
Right.
But that's what happens.
All he saw is that he had a gun, and then all of a sudden his holster is gone, and he actually had
and somebody was
he was bringing out his phone at the same
gun.
time. He went down to check his gun, and it was gone, and he had a phone in his hand. It's a stupid situation. It shouldn't have happened.
I was going to bring it up.
It's sad that he's dead, but the media is just
that's my biggest takeaway from this is as much as I might feel like these people are being dumb in the way that they're getting involved and getting in the way, and it does seem like hey, I agree that we need to be taking care of problematic and illegal aliens in general, but also just especially the problematic ones.
Yeah.
The fact that there's now at least two, and there's so many other ones. It's like I really just am not liking what I'm hearing about all this, and so
yeah.
That's the problem, though.
Not that anybody does like it, but
like that's the biggest thing for me is like what the media is telling you, because and what people post on Instagram, what people post on
they're
X,
lying.
All of it is people posting what they think is the right thing or what the story is they're trying to tell.
Right. I was very careful.
There's a word for it. It's called propaganda.
Yeah.
Because this is what the Democrats do. They literally arrested everyone involved, every single person involved in January 6th, except for the CEI and FBI agents that were instigating everything. They didn't get arrested. The people who were literally led on a guided walking tour through the Capitol January 6th. There's video evidence of this. Yes, there were some people who got violent, and that's bad. They should be crimed. Okay.
Yeah.
But 90% of the people there literally did nothing wrong. And they were all arrested illegally without habeas corpus.
Yep.
That's illegal. That breaks their constitutional rights. And called it an insurrection because Donald Trump said, go be peaceful, but make your voices heard. And then and this is the most sickening thing. What's happening right now, these deaths, the Renee Good and Dan Peretti dying, is exactly what the Democrats want. Alex Peretti. Yeah. They want this. They've been calling for it.
Well, they want a black
to
man
resist.
to die.
Yeah, they would love for a black guy to
people dying.
They would love it.
Enough of a
This is what Trump said. Look. I mean, go all the way back to good people on both sides. Donald Trump said that that Nazis are good people. He said that the KKK are good people. No, he literally said, quote unquote, I'm not talking about the Nazis.
Yeah.
I condemn them totally.
After he says
there were good people mixed up on both sides. Make your voices heard peacefully. We're going to march down and be peaceful and patriotic, and so our voices can be heard. Compare that to we need to fight back against ICE's violent, secretive attacks. We must resist and stop ICE at what they're doing as soon as possible. The week that Renee Good got murdered, after Renee Good and Alex Peretti both got murdered, Tim Walz tweeted out, "I've never been prouder of Minnesota." Get ICE, get out of there. Get the F out. This is ridiculous. We need to fight back abuses. These statements aren't even comparable.
And
it's
there
insane.
There are so many good people who are hearing this and legitimately think that ICE is Gestapo.
Yes.
My fiance,
because this is all they hear. So they go out and they fight back and they get killed, and the Democrats get what they want, which is now Trump and ICE look bad.
My fiance, she's Brazilian, and we're working on her visa, and she has a bunch of liberal friends, and she follows a bunch of social media liberals on social media. So she keeps coming to me saying, "Look at these ICE agents detaining an 11-year-old. Look at this Brazilian who was detained and deported." And I looked into it and said, "Honey, this is why, because he overstayed his visa.
Abandoned him."
Yeah. And we had a huge fight because she thought, "You're just defending the police.
Let's give you
defending the
warm,
police, and you're
let's
not
take you inside where you're warm."
But
I'm an equal opportunity FAFO believer. Yeah.
It is
ridiculous.
It's ridiculous because I don't know if Alex Peretti knew that what he died for was ridiculous. Like, he died to protect raper. Like, I don't know if we can say that yet, but
rapists and murderers,
alleged illegal, terrible people.
This happened.
I don't know if he knows.
This happened right after Renee Good. An ICE officer got his finger bitten off. This is what the Democrats want, and they say that we're the violent ones. Screw off.
Yeah, and also with Renee Good, none of the media mentioned that the guy that was, ran over by the car. Okay, it wasn't really ran over by the car. He had internal bleeding from getting hit by the car, and nobody else.
Well, the goalpost shifted about seven times with Renee Good. They said she never hit him. She was fleeing the scene. Okay, she might have hit him a little bit.
It was just a nudge.
She did hit him, but it's not that
jumped
bad.
Out of the way.
Okay, he did have internal bleeding, but it's because he's a bad guy. He deserved it.
Yeah. It's just ridiculous.
That's why I made this.
Goalpost, you shift.
good. You can make the argument that deporting. You'd be wrong, but you could still try to make the argument that deporting illegals is immoral. If you want to make that argument, go ahead and make it. You cannot ever make the argument that ICE is illegal, that what they're doing is unprecedented, and that they're murdering people.
Violent.
You cannot make those arguments. It's ridiculous.
They're literally in every single state, and the only place it's gotten violent is in Minnesota.
Exactly.
I wonder why.
Exactly.
Hey, it's almost like they're trying to distract from all that fraud that Tim Walz did.
Yeah.
Here we go. Here's a little metaphor. Maybe you'll catch on. If there were a recipe for the greatest cake ever, written by a guy who never baked once, just complained about baking while living off of his rich friend who would bake cakes for him, and tons of college-educated people who've also never baked swear it must be the best cake ever. Meanwhile, over the last century, 25 to 30 world-class chefs have tried to make it, and every time people get food poisoning and millions die. Is every chef wrong, or is the recipe crap? Before you answer, bear in mind, if you bring up the recipe's track record, all of the same college-educated people will autistically screech at you and say, that wasn't the real greatest cake ever. It's never been tried before.
Yep, that's a good analogy.
If you didn't know, that's Marxism. Karl Marx was an absolute scumbag who let his children starve to death while he went out whoring and prostituting and gambling with his friends' money. He never worked a day in his life, and he wrote up a system that would make everything perfect. He was a moron. He died a sad, lonely man. Pretty sure he had syphilis. I can't remember if that's accurate or not. But he was a disgusting person.
Yeah.
His wife was so starved for nutrients, she stopped producing milk when she was breastfeeding her children. So she would just let them suckle at her breast until she bled into their mouths so they could get some nutrients before they inevitably died. Yeah. The ones who survived committed suicide.
Wow.
But hey, let's put him on a t-shirt.
Good. Yeah. Charles sent me a video of big girls fighting midgets.
I'm intrigued and also
we don't need to watch the whole video. I just thought it was hilarious.
Female giants versus strongest dwarves. Who's stronger?
It's just hilarious. Like first, who do you guys think wins? Who do you think is gonna win? Strongest giants.
The midgets.
Strongest dwarfs.
No, it's the midgets. The midgets obviously win this.
How many women and how many midgets?
Well, they choose a champion for each task. So who they think would be the best at each thing. It's crazy. And one of the contests is just carrying the other person. Like they have to carry the dwarf has to carry the giant. And the giant has to carry the dwarf. You'd think that the giant would win. No, the dwarfs knock them out of the park.
Huh.
Yeah.
It's hilarious. This and it's just funny. Like watch it. It's
no, this is real.
I think the dwarfs do more than I could do, but it's just like
I think the women did more than I can do.
Yeah.
Let's see, how much did the women?
I guarantee you that.
What did they do? Deadlift? This is a deadlift.
A squat, yeah.
How much are they lifting?
Go! With features like barcode scanning and AI.
What is this?
I think I've seen some of this other stuff that he's done though, where he's done like man versus woman.
Stuck at 3.
Yeah.
Easy, good. Pull. No.
Wait, how much is?
I can do that.
Wait, how much is on the weight?
I think they're the 45.
345s on each end.
Yeah, 45.
I'm currently doing 2, but I'm doing 10 reps.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And
you said
3 sets.
I guess
I could easily do that once or twice.
I guess the caveat we would have to say is that these women aren't the strongest women; they're just women giants.
Yeah.
That's the one caveat we'd have to say. But I just think it's funny.
Yeah.
Like,
so that whole thing is probably about 300 pounds ish, because the bar weighs a good like 20 or 30 pounds too. Right?
I think it's 45 as well. It's either 35 or 45.
45 as well. So then it'd be over 300 pounds. Yeah.
I love women. God didn't make them to be strong. I'm not saying these women aren't strong. I'm saying that's not their purpose.
Yeah, I think it's a 35-pound bar usually.
Yep.
They have to overcome great obstacles to get where they were, and they will never
very
be
impressive.
Stronger than the average man.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I think they can get stronger than the average man, but they can't get stronger than a man who's doing the same stuff.
A man and a woman doing the same workout routine, the woman would absolutely, the average woman compared to the average man.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have no doubt any of these.
You have a good point though too. That these are just giant women, not the strongest giant women per se.
That's fair. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, sure.
And I think I would lose to them in many of those things. I am not.
Yeah.
I think I would be able to win in a lot of them too. But
yeah.
Like obviously, anyway.
Okay. Do we have more news, or should we get into?
That's it. That's the news.
Nice.
Sweet.
Do we want to actually finish our Pendragon discussion?
Yeah, let's get into Pendragon.
We didn't even finish talking about episode 2.
Right.
It's already almost 11
because
o'clock.
we got interrupted with everything else. We started talking about Fallout and Starfleet Academy before we could even finish talking about episode 2 of Pendragon Saga.
Are we done with Fallout as well? Was there anything else to say about Fallout? I thought it was fine.
I was not a fan of this last episode. I did not like it.
I haven't seen it yet, so I don't know.
I liked that it continued kind of playing around. Like I liked that.
I feel like nothing happened.
The dynamics between her and her dad were good still, but yeah,
kind of. It just didn't do anything new. The story progressed 2 centimeters. It's in the same place as we ended the last episode. Nothing changed.
Yeah, I won't disagree with that.
Except black guy has a big suit now.
Has a different big suit.
That's it. That's the only thing that changed.
Yeah.
It was a pointless
episode. And you get a lot of background. Look, what's the flashback showing?
Nothing.
In this episode?
Nothing new.
That's actually the one other thing I wanted to comment on. That is I think that it's really solidifying that the Gould Cooper probably actually caused things by interrupting what was going on.
But we already got that at the end of the last episode. They're like, "Hey, if you give it to the president, he'll fix everything."
Oh, okay, yeah.
But they already said.
And so we basically only
meeting
progressed
Mr. House,
to,
you showing up here moved it forward.
Mm-hmm.
We know. Okay, he gives it to the president. The president drops the bombs.
Yeah, that's fair. I guess you're right.
We didn't learn anything new.
Yep.
I guess we learned that politician gets turned into a head.
And we learned that the overseer,
why do I care?
eye patch lady.
We didn't need the flashbacks for that.
Yeah.
Oh, the overseer.
The eye patch lady, yeah.
Boring flash. It was so pointless. So pointless.
I mean, that was something we learned.
The two plot lines, the brothers vault plot line and the stupid we're running out of food, we're running out of water, and the guy I'm forcing to marry me and might not be happy about it, are so incredibly boring.
Yeah.
They offer nothing.
Yeah, I haven't really seen the point of those, except for it kind of hints to the importance of those particular managers, but that's it.
Yeah, but we've already gotten a lot of hints at that anyway, so. Yep.
So dumb.
No, it's really dumb. Yeah. It's incredibly dumb. I hate those those side stories. They make no sense. Side plots. The brother, sort of like. It's kind of interesting, but it doesn't really
bad
show
episode
enough.
For the brother, though, too. It had.
Yeah.
I will even say that the brother story in this episode was pretty bad.
Ends in the exact same place that the last episode ended. Nothing changed. He made a phone call, and he's in the same place.
Yeah.
That's it. It's retarded. I'm actively like pissed off at how mediocre this show is.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Frustrating.
I'm pissed off because phenomenal. I want to like it because there's stuff in there like, ooh, this is good, and it just keeps sucking. It's not like offensively bad, like Rings of Power, or Wheel of Time, but it's not good either. Like I just, why? And they're easy fixes.
Yeah.
So that's all I have to say about Fallout.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not.
Well, I'll watch it and I'll see if I have something else to say. Is this the second to last episode?
I think this is the second last. I think there's 7. No, there's 8. I think there's 8. Yeah, because I think this was 7.
Yeah, I think we get another one.
Yeah. So, Pendragon Cycle, Jared. Why do you hate episode 2?
2.
Okay, I don't hate episode 2, but there are a lot of things where I'm like, that's just
what's everything wrong with episode 2?
So there's a few things. Like it starts out, with the whole Atlantis thing and it's being destroyed,
which is pretty good CGI.
Yeah,
it's very short.
But the problem is the story and the acting, right? Like it's literally like she comes to the throne room, right? And they're like, oh no, the queen might be in danger. And so it's like, okay, well, what would I do if someone told me the queen might be in danger? I'd go try to see if I could help her. But instead of doing that, she goes and makes sure she grabs the sword that's on the throne. Right?
Or she found the queen. She was dead.
Not until after she did the sword. So she literally she goes and grabs the sword.
Sorry, I really wish I could have rewatched this episode.
Yeah.
I was planning on it.
So she goes and grabs the sword, and then she's like, "Oh yeah, now I can go and find the queen." And then she finds the queen, is dead, finds her sister, helps her sister, whatever, right? So there's little stuff like that.
I'm just getting to the parts in the books that probably make that a little bit better if you understand what comes from the books, but from the TV show, it is very nonsensical.
Yeah. There's things like that where I'm like, okay, like sure, this sword is important, but like. There's so many things where if someone's like, oh no, like let's go help the queen, I'd be like, okay, let's go help the queen instead of being like, okay, let me grab this thing over here.
You're right. The sword should have been right by the father, and she grabbed her father and the sword at the same time.
In her defense, it's a nice sword.
Yeah.
It is.
A nice sword. I thought that it was Excalibur, but it's not.
There's
2 swords. Merlin has a sword, and then there's Arthur's sword as well. So Maximus's / not Uther.
Right.
Well,
so
it's Maximus's sword.
Slight spoilers.
And also, what's
the sword of the
Uther's
stone?
brother's name?
Aurelius.
Aurelius's sword, and then also Uther's sword, and also Arthur's sword.
Yes. So slight spoilers for this series, the book series. Lots of different Arthurian legends
kind of get subverted a little bit.
Not
subverted.
That's not what I'm talking about.
Like
they have different origins for Excalibur. Yes. Some of them show that Excalibur and the Sword in the Stone were the same sword. But originally that wasn't the case. So the sword in the stone is not Excalibur. It's the first sword that he gets, and it was more ritualistic sword, which is what this is in this version. I don't know if they're going to keep it the same in here, but I'm assuming they will. But they've
already shown 2 different swords. So
yes, so this one is eventually going to be put in the stone, and it's more ornate and it's a ceremonial sword.
In the books, the one that in the books, the sword that gets put in the stone is not.
I'm saying in this version,
not Karis's sword.
In this version, yes, it is.
No!
You're right. You're right.
Literally, just read it.
You were 100% right. I got it.
The sword that Merlin puts in the stone at the end of book 1 and gets pulled out at the beginning of book 3 is not Karis's sword.
Yes,
it's Maximus's, Uther's, Aurelius's sword.
Yes, you are right.
That goes back which was
to...
also. Never mind. I shouldn't say that.
Yeah,
it was also someone else's sword at some point.
Yes. The point
which is going to be confusing.
The Sword in the Stone and Excalibur are different swords in this version, which is the original way that it was. He gets the Sword in the Stone, then it breaks in an epic fight, and then he gets actual Excalibur from the Lady in the Lake.
What do we think the guy is turning into? I saw
in Fallout.
in Fallout.
Yeah.
Oh,
what are you talking about?
Took me half a second to figure it out too.
No. The black guy's friend. What's his name? I don't care.
Thaddeus.
He got turned into a ghoul.
Thaddeus, you're right.
But are we assuming he's a mutant, not a ghoul? Because
it's like a weird
I don't know enough about Fallout to know the
thing.
difference, but it's clear that the ghoul did not know what was going on with his mouth thing,
or knew what was going on, but that's not a ghoul thing. So, but
don't know.
Yeah,
all that I know is in that.
He's
somebody
turned
else
into a
was theorizing
centaur.
what it was.
there's this
And it
weird
was also-
centaur enemy in the games.
Yeah,
like
I guess his arm falling off is also maybe a comment towards that, because I think one that you run across in the games doesn't have an arm. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway,
getting back to Pendragon Cycle.
So
I agree with you, Jared. That
I'm
scene
gonna have to head out though, guys.
was
Okay,
rushed and clunky, and I wish it was
Hey, Charles.
a little bit better. I wish that instead of that scene, we got them running to the boats and just seeing Atlantis on fire as they're escaping on the boats, and that would tie it into.
I wanted to see
them
boats
showing up.
getting hit by comets from the not comets. What's the term for it? It's not a meteor or a comet.
It's fiery rocks from the
debris
volcano and that sort of thing.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, but that's what I was trying to talk about in the first one. Is like there's so many times in these where just their motivation is so muddled and weird and unclear. It's like, why are you doing that? Any normal person would say, hey, this is what's going on, and you do something that's totally different. I'm like, I don't know why you would do that.
Yeah.
The other thing is like,
Tephra.
for example,
There's a name for it. Tephra. Big rocks coming from volcano.
Oh,
there you go. The more you know.
All right. Now we know.
The other thing that didn't make a lot of sense,
or if they're small, Lapili.
Oh, really?
There's Lapili and Tephra. I don't like either of those.
It might be Lapili.
Oh, Lapili?
Because
no, it's pronounced Lapili.
Gotcha. Whatever.
Sure.
The other thing too, then, is right after it shows that scene, then it shows like Taliesin and his.
I'm right. Hold on.
We're going off on another tangent about.
But hey, at least it's still related to this show.
I'm kind of right.
Lapili.
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 But you
It's
said
not Lapili.
It's Lapili.
It's closer to what I was saying than what David said.
Lapili. Yeah.
There you go.
Lapili.
Anyway.
Okay. Sorry, Jared was saying something.
Then so after that, then it jumps to the Taliesin's whole town, and they're like, oh, we're not welcome anymore, we gotta leave. And you're like, okay, like wait, like what happened? Why are they getting kicked out? Like,
I agree.
That's weird.
The cold. That's like the cold open, right? Or what's the first scene? So the cold open is
Atlantis,
and then you get the credits, and then it goes to "We will not be slaves." Yes, I did not like the open from the credits.
Yeah.
They had to skip a lot of stuff.
To me, it's one of those things that, again, they're skipping a lot of stuff. I was able to figure out most of what was going on from context from that.
Yeah.
And I was okay with it.
That's because you have media literacy.
Well, no, I got what happened there. I'm not saying that was.
No, I 100% agree. Even I didn't like that open. It was confusing because the last scene that you got with them and the other king was them making peace, and then the next scene you get is we're not going to be your slaves.
Yeah.
They needed,
and they didn't even show.
That is exactly how it happens in the book. Like
Right.
It's very abrupt, but it's because Avalok says, "Look, we'll make peace because you're going to do all the fighting for me.
Right.
I'll
Yeah,
give
and
you
it
this land.
explains
You
that
can go
throughout the
take this
episode.
castle, but you're going to have to fight because we don't have. We literally lost all of our warriors.
And
We're
the
survivors.
problem
here.
is it cuts out Avalok's
exactly
proposal to them. It jumped straight to the
because
response.
it's not in there. It's jarring.
Yeah.
But it makes sense.
Yeah.
They're like, you're gonna like in their culture that would make them slaves, and so they get personally offended. And he's like, it's like no, like I literally need you. Like I want a partnership. I will give you land and resources, but I need your help because I can't protect myself.
And it explains that through the episode. But what was
It does.
no,
but I'm
also
agreeing
just
with you.
didn't make
Take the
sense.
win, Jared. I'm
Thank
agreeing
you.
with you.
Thank you.
It
I
was
appreciate
jarring.
But the thing though that just it's weird because they have this whole thing where they're not welcome and then they all leave, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then Taliesin just he's like off wandering by himself, and then he comes back and he's like, "Oh, we're getting kicked out." Okay, so what does he do? He races all the way back to the city just to talk to Karis, and you're like, "Wait, you're not welcome anymore. Like, why are you going back to the place you're not welcome anymore?" And they've kicked you out of, and you still have free reign to walk around and talk to the princess and all that stuff. It's like,
did they kick them out, or did they just say we're leaving because we won't do it?
Yeah, they said that we're not.
I don't
he
think
wasn't
that Taliesin
unwelcome.
would have been unwelcome.
He just said, "I'm not going to abandon Karis. Like you guys can go." But
okay, that could make more sense. That could make more sense.
Yeah.
But then his people are just okay with him leaving. They're just like, oh yeah, okay, Taliesin, like he's just all right.
They weren't that okay with it, but they also just let Taliesin do whatever he wants. Yeah.
Yeah.
They didn't seem
Taliesin
like
is
not happy about it.
Strong, independent bard. He don't need no daddy with a funky mustache.
But like, yeah, so that's fine. But it's just weird that he's just like he just kind of does his own thing. And then let's see the other part too. So after all of that, right? Then there's some stuff that goes on, and then Karis is riding off in the woods all by herself, right? And then all of a sudden there's this rope in front of her, and she gets tossed from her horse. But that part was so awful because literally, like, she's like miles away from the rope, and it's suddenly taut, and then she trips over it. I was like, bro, I would have seen that from at least where you were. This rope that's in your way, like.
Yeah.
Anyway, so there's stuff like that where I'm like,
we
okay,
saw
I
it
get
because the
it's not
camera
from-
was focused on it. But if you are riding a horse, it would be hard to see something like that in the woods.
Yeah.
That is a frequent tactic that was used by bandits.
Maybe, but I think as far as they were, like you would still see it, especially as you're coming up on it. Like
you're running fast.
Anyway, I thought it was a little strange. And then, of course, Taliesin's just there. Like he just knows where she is.
No, he's on her. He's
on
following the road to meet her in the city, and she's leaving the city. They're on the same road.
Well, all roads lead to Taliesin.
Well established.
Oh well, it wasn't.
I do agree. This scene was a lot better in the books because it's a callback to her bullfighting days. They knock her off the horse. They try to nab her, and she just like leaps over them like she did with the bulls, and it's really great. And they're caught off. They're caught off guard and in surprise. Is like that's not. Taliesin shows up or something, and she's like, "That's he's not going to be easy prey or something like that." Anyways, so it's straight from the book, and I like how they did it. It just, I agree, it could have been a little bit better, but I wasn't bothered.
Again, if they'd taken 3, 4, 8 episodes to adapt this book instead of 2.
Yeah, so there's stuff like that, and then later, I still don't like. It still feels I don't get their chemistry. Like literally,
you're nuts.
It felt like they just met, and then he's like, "Oh, but marry me," right? So it's like,
sure.
It's just,
and that again is because they rushed it. Because there's no way that they, But we get Disney movies where they meet and say, "Let's get married." We're going to do
in the lake. He doesn't need any more information.
Yeah,
I know, but to just jump to be like, "Hey, marry me," like, anyway, it's just weird.
This is supposed to be like a month later or something like that, rather than the next day. But
I literally knew that I was going to marry my wife before I met her. Just putting that out there, guys.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah,
It's a cool
I
story,
understand
Tanner.
that. I understand
My
that. but-
I no look. I connect with Taliesin quite literally. My wife was shown to me in a dream before I met her.
Yeah,
That's pretty cool. But
That's cool.
But I just feel like generally, at least in a story, it doesn't happen. Like most of the time, it doesn't happen like that. There's
sure,
some,
but
he's
it
a magical
does
bard.
happen,
But
Jerry.
he's a magical bard that stared into her soul.
Look, I can't even. I like the parallels. I really connect
And in
with
stories.
Taliesin. Okay,
Come on.
my entire courtship was with my wife. Was me trying to con her into marrying me because I already knew that I was going to marry her, and I just needed to not screw it up. And that's him.
And
he sees her in a vision. Then he sees her in a lake, and he says, "I'm done." And he's just trying to convince her at this point.
Yep, I agree. And it would have
that's
been a lot
not
better.
everyone's story, but
been a lot better. If we had
that
a
doesn't
full
mean it's not
sequence,
realistic.
And also, again, we're talking about stories, and we watch all these like Disney movies where they do it all the time. And I mean, yeah, we complain about it a little bit, but we buy it most of the time for the Disney movies.
You.
I walked with you once upon
I
a dream.
bathed with
I know,
you
it
once
just
inside a pond.
I wasn't buying it, or maybe I was just in one of those movies.
I know you. That
The other
wet
thing-
T-shirt contest was a wonderful thing.
Then it goes to where she's locked up in a room, right? She's locked up in a room, and then all of a sudden Taliesin just shows up at the window. I'm like, wait, like where did that come from? Like, no, it didn't show anything about how he knew that was her window first, or like, so like,
again, that's I didn't like that scene either because they were concatenating a lot of extra stuff. Like it does happen that she's locked in the tower, and I would have preferred that they just cut that whole subplot out.
That's one of my favorite parts of the book. They have to
really
send David, the priest, back. He has to like carry love letters back and forth
But
because he's not. It's great.
But that
it's
was
great.
that was
so
the conversation that we said that it was a replacement for in where they had with Morgion in the stable with the foal, right?
Yeah.
We said that was a replacement kind of for a scene that happens here when she was locked in the tower and David has to go give messages and Morgan's like, "Oh, I'll give the message," and they have a similar conversation there. And so I thought that because they put that there, that they would be, shortening that and taking that side plot out. But but I agree, they put it in there, and then it just kind of ends because he shows up.
And
really weird.
As somebody who hadn't read the book, especially at that point, I haven't gotten to that point in the book at this point either. I didn't have an issue with that beyond the fact that, again, just saying that this seems like it's rushing through things a little bit too quickly overall. Because other than that, it conceptually you get the fact that there's been some degree of coordination that he's been able to figure out where her room is, and he's crawling like. I don't know. I feel like a scene like that is fine with regards to the like, oh, she's been locked away and he's able to find where she's at. That's not that shocking of a thing. We don't see his side of it, but I don't think that had to be seen. At least that aspect of it didn't have to be seen. Right. So I don't know. Yeah, that didn't bother me.
Maybe not seen, but like explain somehow that there was this courtship or there was this discovery of these sorts of intimacy, right? Because none of that is explained, right? The episode before, they literally meet at a lake, and then it's like done, and then he's taking off his boot and putting on taking off the sandal, putting on the boot, right? And then after that, like it goes to them in Atlantis, and then they're kicked out of the village, or they leave the village, right? And so there's none of this exposition of like, okay, yeah, we've been flirting back and forth. Like there's none of that. And so for him to just be like, "Oh, hi, I'm in your room," like it was so weird. I was like, "What?" Like you're locked in your room, and now he's there. Like, and how did he know that he was locked in the room? And that was like,
how did
I don't know if he's out of the hospital, but he's drawing either in the hospital or out of the hospital. So There's a little update. I just saw this.
I don't know. I think back to Aladdin. Like, how did he know which room was Jasmine's room when he came up to her room? Like, we don't know. He knew it. It's the right one. I don't know. Like, it's fine.
Good point, Jared. Other Jared, bearded Jared.
Crazy good sketch.
Jared with better takes as of late.
Whoa. The other thing though too is, and maybe this is just me, and I'm not saying I'm a swordsman or anything like that in particular, but or any expert, but my understanding is that when you touch a blade of a sword, you get oils on that blade that can tarnish the blade and can rust the blade and destroy the blade. So she clearly, like, I hated that scene when she picks up the sword and she takes it out of the sheath, and then she's just like playing around with it in her hands, and you're like, bruh, like, you are ruining that sword by playing with that sword like that.
I mean, you can clean it off, though.
It didn't look like she did. Like, that's the thing. Like, I would have expected she did.
That, you know,
were it to be any other movie where it shows somebody cleaning their sword after just touching it.
But they're not touching it like that. They're not touching it like that normally. Normally they take it out and they're looking at it and they're like, oh yeah, this is, you know.
I will say, you know, we definitely could have sacrificed more screen time to show them cleaning the blade after.
No, it's not about cleaning. It's not. It's more about not touching it and handling it like that. Like if back in that time especially, you would know, hey, you don't touch the blade like this.
Yeah, but it's a magic.
But like, sword. Okay, take Pirates of the Caribbean and Will Turner.
Exactly.
He balances it on the end of his finger. Does not clean that sword. Oh no, he's ruining that sword.
Yeah, but she's got it in a storage place, right? And is caring for it and storing this blade.
He's handing it off to her to be used
later in that same scene. Later in that same scene, they start kissing, and Karis tries to touch a Taliesin's sword, and I'm pretty sure they didn't clean it afterwards either.
Wow.
Well, because she didn't touch his sword.
Wow.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
Jared's right, guys.
Anyway, like I said, it was just a little thing where I was like, okay, that one wasn't a huge plot twist.
That is the smallest of nitpicks.
That's one of the worst nitpicks you've had so far, and like a bunch of the nitpicks have been very nitpicky, and again, more just getting stuck on the fact that
you are correct
it way too quickly, which they are, but at the same time, like.
Yeah. I know.
You are correct. If you don't clean off your finger oils, that is bad for the sword. But you can touch them. You just need to wipe it off.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
We also usually don't see the scenes of people going to the bathroom and washing their hands, but we know that it happens off screen at some point.
So if you're gonna touch someone's sword, always use a lubricant.
Okay. Anyway, from that point on...
Sorry, always use protection. That was the better joke.
Come on.
From that point on, though, I liked it. I liked the rest of the episode because I think the part where they went to the town and and I think you were alluding to this, David, where you didn't actually like that scene where he flew.
David's crazy.
I like it.
I thought it was great.
I like
Where
it.
he sings again?
It was better. It was so much better in the book.
David's wrong. I think it's better in the show.
I disagree.
And then after that, they do the whole
one of the few scenes where you're like, oh, that's better on screen than it was on the page.
I liked it. I think they did a good job.
I felt that the way they filmed it was very claustrophobic. Everyone was way too close to each other.
He blew the guy a kiss.
I know, but he didn't just. It was like he
awesome.
Got right up in his face.
It's freaking awesome.
In the book, he was more like nonchalant. It's not that the part that really bothers me is after he's struck dumb and he goes and kicks him. I'm like, that's not how he acted in the book. The book, he was just like, he's nothing. He's not worth my time.
Kick him while he's down. Also,
I would imagine
glossed over
claustrophobic.
But yeah, that scene was really awesome. It's my favorite part in the book, hands down. And it's very powerful. And did I just lose connection? No, we're good. Okay.
I don't know.
There was like
someone froze for a second.
The other thing that I'll say is the claustrophobia, that kind of makes sense for they're in a small area. So I don't know. That one works for me when it comes to the claustrophobic shooting of it.
But before we get too far ahead in the episode, though, that we skipped over, last time we had a big discussion on Karis versus Morgion, right?
Oh, yeah.
like which one's hotter. I will say with this episode, you might win Morgan some points because
I don't remember
because
what Morgan does in this episode.
Shape-shifting girlfriend versus just Karis. There's some pluses and minuses.
Wait, when did she shapeshift?
She turns into Karis.
Oh, because she shapeshifted into Karis. That's right. Yeah.
But
Wait,
she
what?
could she could shapeshift into other things too. You know.
When did she?
She shapeshifts into Karis
it's in the barn.
to pretend.
He goes to the barn, and
it's
Karis is waiting for him, and she kisses him, and then he notices that the torch on the wall is inanimate. It's me, it's Morgan. I can change into other things if that's what you fancy.
Yeah.
Role play?
Yes, Mark.
As Mark like is saying, she can turn into Sydney Sweeney. Yep.
There you go. Yeah. But anyways, getting back to the most awesome scene in the entire book. It's so wonderfully done.
The song was great too.
The song was great, but again, I don't like that everyone else joins in.
That's his power. Everybody has to join in. He's the Pied Piper.
It made more sense when he's playing for the hall of people and his people join in the singing. But now he's in a new place.
So he chose a song that they would have known. Because he's a smart bard, David.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I did take it more as like they all kind of were mesmerized by the same song.
And that's what happens in the book.
They didn't know the song, but it was the sentiment of the song that they were singing together.
Both interpretations work. David's just dumb.
Sure. Yeah. It was fine. It was a beautiful song. I would just prefer that the crowd didn't join in because I think it sounds.
I haven't been able to rewatch that episode since we watched it like 4 weeks ago, like over a month ago. I was going to rewatch it today. I still remember the tune of that song.
Yeah,
it's
really good.
The leaves, like I don't remember the words.
Yeah, but it was really good. He's got a good voice. He's very well cast, and it's just such a freaking awesome move to just, mute the guy that's taunting you, and it's just very powerful.
She could also make herself look like big Sydney Sweeney,
like the pewter arm Sydney Sweeney.
I see no negatives. You might have to sacrifice a human on every anniversary.
Yeah.
Oh dear. But episode 2 was definitely better. And getting into episode 3 was better.
Well, hold on. There's still some things because I didn't have any complaints about episode 2 until the end of episode 2.
Yes.
So Merlin is born, right? And okay, so first there's a weird continuity error where he stops the rain and just stops in midair, which is very cool looking, except in the very next scene, there's no rain at all.
Because he stopped it.
And they're not hanging in the air anymore.
No, it showed the rain dissipate. Gone. It literally showed the rain go away, David.
No, it just freezes, and then the next.
No, it didn't.
I'll have to go back and watch it. I
think I'm more with Alan on this one because I'm okay with that.
It was in like the recap of episode 3. It showed the same thing. It showed it freeze and then dissipate.
I skipped the recap, but for me, it was I didn't catch that. I thought it was
it stops the rain.
I know. It was really cool visually.
Stops the rain down in.
But the thing that really doesn't make sense,
Atlantis,
and I get it because
what's the name of the town he's in? Sorry,
give me I don't know. They go. I don't remember. He's just there for a bit.
He stops the rain down in.
And I'm pretty sure none of this has been in Atlantis in episode 2 and beyond because Atlantis was destroyed, wasn't it?
I just couldn't remember the name of the place. Okay?
Well, Inis Avalach is the castle.
I know
where
he's not there either.
But
what's that?
Yeah, I forget the place where they go and.
It's probably not even mentioned.
And get married, and
the name isn't even mentioned in the show.
But so what doesn't make sense is how Morgion got into the castle and shot him with the crossbow,
and no one looked in the direction that the bolt came from because the arrows are literally directional.
And I get trying to concatenate things and shorten.
Yeah,
things.
they had to skip
so
like
much
the
better
last
in the
like
book.
4 chapters of the book. He dies later.
Yeah,
like they're returning to Innis Avalak,
Yeah.
right? And
yeah,
he gets
they're
killed
on the
in
road
woods.
and they get ambushed.
It is
and he gets
Morgan's
shot just
fault.
like
Like she's behind it.
Yeah,
but she 6 other people after him.
But it's just, and I get why they changed it because they want to do it faster or whatever. And I don't hate how it happened. It's just the execution was not there. Like she should have been like up on a ledge or something, but she was just right there out in the open, and not a single one is like, where did that come from? And try and find it. She just hides behind the pillar right where she shot it from. And
what they should have done is she shouldn't have. If they
really
had
bothered me.
They had, because it would have taken too long to like have him die later, right?
Right.
Like,
Right. I'm fine with it happening there. She just needs to be on a rooftop, makes the shot, and then GTFOs.
I don't think she should have been in the scene at all. I think Merlin, they should have changed the book just a little bit and just have Merlin is stillborn, and Taliesin magically gives his life to bring to give Merlin life.
No, it doesn't work.
It works thematically with what they've emphasized in the show.
It works thematically here, but things in book 3 will not work unless you have Morgion.
Okay. I haven't finished book 3.
Yeah. I mean, I get what you're saying. It would be very powerful.
Then make it her fault. Like she does something to the pregnancy. And so it's her fault, and he knows it, and he willingly gives his life for his son.
I mean, that could work, but then you'd also have to have some way of Karis finding out and discovering that. But you're right, that would be a good solution.
That makes it short.
Yeah. Well, and again, you are at that point adding more and more changes, which again, as long as it serves the overall story, that's okay, that would make the more changes is trickier to do.
The only reason I'm advocating for that change is because it would accentuate what they've already chose to focus on in the show, which is, they've mentioned several times, the whole like, giving life for power, right?
Yeah.
And that would also, he doesn't need more reason, but it would also give more reason for as to why Merlin is the most powerful wizard ever.
Yeah, you're right. That would be good. They'd have to.
I'm just saying
tweak some
they were hitting that
in
note,
the rest of the stuff,
which is a note in the books, but not as pronounced in the books as it is in the TV show.
Yeah.
So thematically, it would work really well.
I agree. Yeah.
And if you're already making the choice to shorten that anyway, why not?
Yeah. But I love that bit at the end though with Merlin and being stillborn and being brought to life again.
Yeah,
it's great. And again, it's a good callback from Elfin bringing Elfin bringing Taliesin from the river in the sealskin, right? And he was stillborn. Well, I mean, he was dead.
Well, he seemed dead until Elfin actually took the time to pay attention to him and everything. But yeah,
exactly.
So episode 3.
Yeah.
Most is
we started talking about it.
We started. We talked about the structure. There was a shot that wasn't great, but it wasn't nearly it was the wide shot when it was the city right after the fight.
They were riding out.
And there was smoke on it, and you're like, that was much better than the episode 1. It's still not great.
There was a couple other shots too. There was like an overhead shot of much like the really, really bad one with the castle, but it was just a little valley, and then you had some tents and stuff down there.
The shot at the end of the shot at the end of the episode when you get
the army.
Is it Innis Avalak?
Innis Avalak. Yeah.
When they go back to the town.
That looked great.
That looked phenomenal.
Yeah. Innis Avalak looked really good.
Almost practical, and it's not.
There's a couple of ones like there was an overhead shot of the camp, and the one that they're looking at the armies coming in. That one wasn't great either, but nothing nearly as bad as that one from episode 1.
They were all passable this time.
They're very passable.
Could they have been better? Yes.
Agreed.
It's that one shot.
My biggest complaint so far has been the going from bearded to not bearded. Felt like it was being a flashback, and it took a minute to be like, Oh no, this
He
isn't a
just cleaned up.
flashback.
He just
Yeah,
cleaned
from
up.
that. He just cleaned them up. And
the
kind
structure
of
of
sudden.
going back and forth and all the time jumps is very jarring.
It was a little jarring, but you also get, but they quickly give you context clues to say like, hey, like I'm back now. I've been missing for a long time, and now I'm back. So you, okay, this is not.
None of the actual jumping was confusing. It was that I thought there was jumping and there wasn't, because all the jumping, it just jumped to him as a little kid, and then back forward to him as he is. So the jumping that they did in the show wasn't confusing to me. It was the fact that they didn't jump and it seemed like they had for a second. You know,
exactly.
That's what threw me off.
Also, Merlin's beard looks so much better than Elfin's beard, for example, or Elfin's mustache thing, which I was hoping we would get a different hairstyle for him when they showed him again in episode 3. But Merlin's beard looked really, really good.
When they first showed Vortigern,
it's so well cast.
I was disappointed. I was like, when they first showed his character, I was like, I don't.
Is that his companion?
No,
that's the other.
That's the
king that dies.
the high. He calls himself the High King, but no one.
No
one else does.
No one respects
him.
Yeah.
So he's the usurper. When they get to the camp, the fortress castle,
and
his son introduces him, they first show him on screen, I was disappointed, but my mind was changed.
Yeah,
like his performance.
I think he was fantastic. I think he should have had the crown from the beginning, though. But other than that, so like when we first meet him, he doesn't have the crown, and then he's about to be attacked, and he puts the crown on.
Yeah,
like,
sure, he should have been wearing it.
Had that the whole time. But
his performance was actually shockingly nuanced.
Yeah,
like he was very complex, and he's very one note in the book because he's really not in the book at all. He's in that one scene where Merlin meets him, and Merlin says, "You're going to die." And they added the whole fight scene. Like that happens off screen. Merlin leaves. The army is not there. Merlin just leaves. He frees the monks and leaves, and then you hear, Uther and Aurelius. They killed him. They beat him.
Yep, and then you get that line saying, "So ends the reign of
Vortigern."
Of Vortigern, whatever.
He was wonderful.
It's off.
He was so good.
It's really good, and I don't know.
And he's complicated too. He's a complex. He's like I'm not a. It's not like he's a bad guy. He's not good at his job, and he did bad things. He's an ends justify the means kind of guy.
Yeah.
And once he got to the end, he wasn't really good at it.
Yeah, exactly. That's a good way to put it.
And he's also prideful, and he kind of knows he screwed up, and he's kind of just ready to die.
Yeah. I love that bit with the little boy too, which again isn't in the book unless it's in books 4 and 5 that's
the problem.
Into
so
it.
Books 4 and 5 are interquels, right? Because it was supposed to be 5. It was supposed to be 5 books long. And then they told him he needed to end it in book 3. So book 3 is subpar because it's messed up, right? And then got a new publisher and decided to write 2 more books of the stuff he was going to put in, but it's out of order. So David's only read the first 3. We have no idea what's in books 4 and 5. Yeah. Maybe it goes into more detail of Vortigern that they pulled for the show, and we don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. But I really like it.
It was great. Whatever. If it's not, it was good.
And it perfectly summarizes not Aurelius, Vortigern, in his incompetence and his his greed for power, and he dies by his own hand, basically. He's the instrument of his own death.
I was thinking, this is gonna be like too reminiscent of Lord of the Rings. Like this is kind of ripping off this is a good sword thing.
Yeah.
And that's not
another scene. Another scene where he touches the sword. By the way,
yeah. They did kind of homage Fellowship of the Ring too, with the hiding under the tree. But I mean that
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
But like it was very different, right? Like the scene with the kid is like I was like, oh, please don't just rip off that scene, and it was not what it was at all.
Well, and then he puts the crown on his head afterwards too. Like
that was actually very sweet.
That was interesting. I was like,
I may have missed the confirmation that was his son at first. I mean, obviously, it then solidifies it by the way that he handles it.
I don't even think it was his son. He was just saying, I'm not worthy. It's like, you are more worthy of being a king because you are more brave than I was. That's what I got.
That's fair. That's actually even better. I like that better.
He made a comment when Merlin was first there, and he's like, "Oh, are you like some illegitimate?" And he like pulls the kid over to him and puts his hand on him, like this guy is to me.
I will have to rewatch it because
I'd have to
there
rewatch
were
it,
girls
I felt like I
screaming
missed
and jumping on my lap when I was trying to watch, and I couldn't get the subtitles to work because I was casting it from my phone.
That's also why he didn't want him to fight, right? And he wanted him to
was he saying that he was a bastard, or
because he was illegitimate.
Because the only reason I don't think it was his son is because he tried to get his other son out. Right, he literally sent his son away so his son wouldn't die. So it's weird.
But being a bastard,
exactly. So
that's
I didn't catch that. I do remember that line.
To the tower.
I do remember the line that you mentioned.
As far as you can.
I do remember the line that you mentioned, but like I was a little bit distracted. There were kids running around screaming.
That actually works. That actually really works if he's the bastard son, because that's another good parallel to what's going to happen later in the series.
I will also say, as much as like thematically, the idea that like he sent the boy up there to keep an eye on the back of the archers, and the boy ended up stabbing him because he came rushing through the door like that.
Well, because he was a coward too.
Right.
Well, because he was a coward too. But it actually throws me off a little bit because the way that was set up, it seems weird to me that if it was so easy for him to be coming up the stairs like that the kid would have been that quick to jump and decide that this must be somebody I need to stab, because it seemed like there was some.
It showed people fighting. It showed people fighting in the stairway though, like the kid. Heard.
It showed like another guy in the stairway, and so it doesn't feel like the kid should have been quite as quick to jump on that. As much as I love the thematic,
he's a kid in battle. He's like the first person that comes up here. Oh, I gotta. It's perfect.
Yeah, I can get that too. It felt like, because the guy that the king says no, keep them from coming up or whatever, seemed like he was just coming down. So it doesn't seem like the kid would have been quite as on the jump, like needing to be on the jump for like, there's people coming through right now.
Yeah,
I don't know. That's definitely one of those little nitpicks for me where I was like that, but I like the concepts behind it anyway. So
well, one of the issues though is the only line that the kid has is when they're talking about the sword or whatever and going into battle, and he gives him his thing. His lines are very clearly ADR. It's a little bit jarring, but otherwise the kid actor was pretty good.
Yep.
I also love the casting for old David. With the priest. It was so good. I loved it. I would have liked more lingering on just like, look, David, but but it was really fun. It was fun. He's a good.
I will say the time frame, and again, this is partially because of the way that it's presented, but also even as I'm reading through the book, the time frame is throwing me off a little bit, because so again in the book, I don't know if I missed it, but I didn't get ages for Caris as we're going through. Like, I get the fact that it was 7 years between the first part, or the first book in book one, into the second book, but like what her ages were, you can kind of infer, but it was taking me a little bit. But it also seems to be parallel with Taliesin's age, except that in the show we've had Caris say like, I'm older than you think I am. My people carry our age really well. That gave me the impression she's like maybe 100 years old or something like that at that point. And I'm like, this is kind of weird. And then you get the fact that like, what was that?
The books never really say how old she is.
And that's fine.
The fairy creatures just don't age as much.
Yeah, they age very slowly. And it's the same thing. There was a conversation between Merlin and Peleus, his guy and he says, it's been 50 years. I've been looking for you for 50 years. And he looks like he's 28.
Pelias does not. Merlin looking young makes sense, but I didn't know, is Pelias also of the Atlantean? Okay, that's why I was a little confused. But again, that's still like, now Merlin has been gone for 50 years. How is David or whatever? How is he still alive when he was already like 30? before Merlin was born, and
Um,
now Merlin is at least 50, if not 100 years
David,
old too.
David
and-
has like 1 or 2 years left of his story.
Yeah, he's gonna die real
but
soon.
it's still like he's got to be really because they're also talking about like Elfin's already dead and all these other people are like you've been gone for 50 years.
Yeah.
That
David
is,
was
especially in
younger
that time
than
frame,
Elfin.
that is most people's actual life expectancy.
Yeah.
And David was already 30 before Merlin was born, so long before that 50 years. So that was really kind of weird to me to try to like piece together. Oh, it's been a long time, but it's also been short enough of a time that David could still be around.
Yeah, no, David dies of old age in the books, but he lasts
Which is
a long
fine.
time.
Yeah, it just seems I'm having a hard time tracking that feeling of of the passage of time.
Again, that's because they keep shortening things and jumping around.
Yeah.
More
just
time.
rushing things.
Yeah, exactly. That's
I will say
the worst part of the series is they don't.
This episode slowed down quite a bit, though.
You're
Like
right,
this
it
episode
did.
took
It
its
did.
time.
It's still jumping
you're right.
around back and forth.
It's hard to understand.
Well, and I'll say again, this is you keep saying jumping around, and I don't know if I'm necessarily tracking with what you're talking about with that, except for maybe comparing to what the book has, because it seems like this episode went fairly chronologically, consistent, except for the 1 or 2 little flashbacks that were very, very obvious that weren't confusing at all for themselves, but moving forward. And I think more than even in episode 1 and 2, where you can kind of infer that there's been more time passing as Kairis and Taliesin have gotten to know each other, there's less implications that like, oh yeah, there's probably been time passing, even though we didn't do a good job of presenting it. And when they did present the passage of time, like, hey, it's been 50 years, I've been looking for you, that then makes it hard for me to track.
I wish there were more things. They do have some titles that are on there to say, oh, this is this land AD whatever, but you don't remember the previous date that they said in their head. So I wish there was more like, it's been 50 years, it's been 100 years, whatever it is. I wish there was more of that.
They need to do
That's a lot of my main complaints,
what they need to do is every time it switches, they need to do the Indiana Jones airplane scene, but just have it just be a timeline. Have it go.
Yeah.
Have it zoom out and then zoom back in and
But overall this episode was really good. I do have one other complaint. In that, well, first off, I love Arthur and Aurelius. They're perfectly cast. They're absolutely awesome together, and I love the back and forth with like, hey, we don't know what we're doing. We need Merlin to guide us and stuff like that. And Uther's like, I don't trust this guy. I am
loving that setup.
That's perfect from the books. What I didn't like is the scene where Uther came and was trying to.
What, he was going to kill him?
It looked like he was going to knife Merlin.
I need to rewatch that scene.
It was really weird.
No. I need to rewatch the scene to double check, but because there was girls jumping and screaming in my ears. I don't think that's what he was doing. That's what I thought at first. I think it was. I think he was trying to wake Merlin.
I thought Merlin was trying to wake him.
Yes, because he heard the guys coming. So he has.
I thought Merlin.
It looked like he was. I thought he was trying to kill him at first, but then I realized, oh no, I think he was trying to wake Merlin.
I thought it was Merlin waking.
Ambiguous.
I thought it was Merlin waking him up and him being like, "Oh, who's trying to get me? I've got to. Oh, you're just trying to wake me up because there's this going."
Merlin was.
I thought it was I'm sleeping with my knife under the pillow or whatever.
Yeah. Either way, it was not effective at conveying what was going on there.
I think I'm going to rewatch it, but maybe it's supposed to be ambiguous. You don't know. Was he trying to wake him up or was he trying to kill him?
Right.
I think maybe that's the point.
The continuity issue as well too, because literally Aurelius or whatever, he had his sword out, right, as they're like walking around and going in to explore. And then it was back. And then later when they're underneath the tree, it's him pulling it out of the scabbard that causes them to do it. And I was like, "Oh, dude, you already had it out!" Like,
yep.
I wasn't watching as closely on that one, but I will say it was kind of funny that they took those guys out and then they just left them with their torches burning in the forest. Like, I mean, maybe this is just the I've been in California or Scouts for too long, and so I'm like leaving open flame in the forest. That's a bad idea. But that was definitely like, wait, what are you doing?
Well, and then
like take them with you, use them, or put them out.
The thing too that was a little weird was that then it went to a scene where it was early morning, and so it was really bright out, and they still had torches, and I was like, okay, that's a little weird. Like, why do you still have torches?
It was
out
dusk, so they
agreed. It goes with the same the whole army that they're
dawn
seeing too.
So
everyone's carrying torches.
Yeah, it was dawn. No, that's
Where the other group is carrying
it was very clearly it wasn't daytime. It was
that's what I'm saying.
So like they had torches out because it was night, and now the sun is coming out.
I know,
they'll
but
turn
I was
them
just
off
like,
soon.
you'd think that you would do that as it's, I don't need this anymore. It's like, hey, it's bright enough. I don't need this thing anymore. You put the torch out.
It looks cool.
But
especially if it's a resource that you're gonna you have to take care of that resource. You don't. It's a finite resource.
Yeah, but also tactics wise, if you're an army trying to infiltrate other people, first off, you typically don't march at night, and if you do, you're not going to wear a torch saying, "Hey, I'm coming."
Yeah.
But, unless you're trying to intimidate, and you probably carry 2 torches each, so it looks like you're greater numbers. But
yeah.
But overall, I really like this episode. I thought it was pretty good.
I like the guy they chose for Merlin. I think his acting's been good.
I agree.
Yeah, it's been good. I also will say I did really enjoy that last scene where they come across Karis, and you get to see David doing the Hail Mary or whatever, and her smiling and being like, David, and then turning around and seeing Merlin, and that was really well performed, I think, of Merlin, and I thought she did a great job with that. That was a really touching moment.
I agree.
Yeah,
one more awesome line that I love that they pulled straight from the books is Merlin's talking to High King Vortigern, and he's like, "Oh, the druids have prophesied that I need a virgin-born man to come and save us or whatever." And his line was, "There's none virgin-born save one." There's a little dig. It's like, I'm not the salvation you seek.
Yeah. Back to that idea. I will say, like the bit where they decide, I would rather wait until we're married, like the Christians do or whatever. I will say, as much as I approve of the messaging there, it was very jarring because that's so not what you're used to. And even within the context, it seems like he just barely kind of converted, didn't he? So has he figured out what's the right and wrong with that yet? Maybe not. Okay.
I mean,
again, I'm okay
vision quest with God.
Yeah, that's true.
So,
I thought it was kind of interesting and funny. Again, not that I had a problem with it because I like the messaging, but I thought it was very interesting. I was like, okay. I guess to me, I almost felt a little ham-fisted, even though I like it, So
yeah, I agree.
But that was good, and that's one of the things. Talking about how Christian the series is, I think I'm so used to, and we see other magics and other things being hinted at and being validated to some degree or another in a way that it's really interesting to see how that's then going to be treated with a very Christian focus, because usually you have, I don't know, it doesn't seem like those go particularly well hand in hand. You usually have one or the other, but I'm curious to see how that goes. So that's not a complaint at all.
We've gotten a little bit of that with House of David. We've gotten that with House of David too, which I think is fun.
And I missed that one. I haven't seen that. So
it's really good.
We got God, but we also have some magic stuff.
Yeah.
You can
which again, I'm not even necessarily saying you can't do, because I've always been told there is more than just God's power. There are other powers, but that just means it's coming from the other side.
But the reason why House of David is so cool is because it's framed in such a way that the prophet Samuel could just be like this magician guy, and it's really cool. It's really cool how they did it.
Which honestly, you get a lot, as I've been seeing, as I've been reading through the books with Hafgan, is it Hafgan or whatever his name is?
Hafgan, yeah.
Hafgan. You're getting a lot of that from them, kind of being magic-ish, and not to mention all the stuff that's going on with the Atlanteans too. So
yeah. Hafgan's really cool too. He's the old guy that we saw again in the flashbacks that
Yeah,
he's dead at present time, but he helped tutor Merlin.
When it did flash back to that, because at that point I had now been reading through some of the books, and it said, "Oh, Halfdan." I was like, "Oh," I had to go back to oh, that's Halfdan. Okay, cool, that's awesome. You know, because I actually
we see him in the first two episodes as well. But
yeah.
It was,
but now I feel like I have a better connection with him because I've been reading through the book. So
yeah, definitely,
that was really good.
So I've been liking it. I think episode 1 had the most flaws, and I think episode 2 is better, and episode 3 is even better. So I hope they keep improving.
Yeah,
me too. It definitely feels though like 4 more episodes isn't going to be enough.
Yeah, that's what I'm worried about.
It'll be interesting to see. But
so
are you pushing forward
definitely...
and planning on reading the other 2 books, David?
No, I'm taking a break and reading other things. I don't. Well, yeah, I don't know. Right. That was the thing. I wanted to get at least the first 3 done. This is supposed to cover mostly books 1 and 2. So, and that's what all the internet says. It's just 1 and 2. So I don't know if they're peppering things in from 3 and 4.
That'd be the only reason I'd be curious.
I also assume
have otherwise thought
that 3 and 4 are mostly stuff left out of. 4 and 5 are mostly stuff left out of book 5.
Anyway. 3,
so like,
book 3. Book 3 is really the one that it suffers, especially in the last half or.
So like he did what he wanted with the first 2 books.
Yeah.
Fair.
Agreed. So I don't think I think most of it is inserted in book 3. So
I guess part of the reason I was asking was thinking about like, okay, so we go through books 1 and 2 in this first season, and then is the next season then going to just be in book 3, and how much of book 3, all of book 3? And that's where I'm like, oh, I guess if they're pulling in books 4 and 5, I guess it's kind of from the idea of trying to then pick your brain as to what sort of longevity this show could have, because they're burning through 2 books in 7 episodes.
So the structure of the first 3 books is the first book is Taliesin. It talks about, it's from the perspective of Taliesin himself and Karis, and there are 2 separate things happening, and then they meet up, and it ends, pretty much how
with the birth of Merlin,
ends, right?
Yep.
And it ends with the birth of Merlin, right? And then book 2 is narrated from Merlin, and he's telling the story of his growing up and being young and learning from Halfdan and having these, growing in his magic and stuff. And then he meets what's her bucket's character? No, before that, not Hronwyn, Ganyeda, who's going to be played by what's her bucket, Brett Cooper. And then something happens, and he goes crazy, wild man in the woods, and then he comes back to the land of the living, and this is where it starts, right? So it's kind of there's different segments of the book, but it's all narrated by Merlin, and then we end with the birth of Arthur, right?
Arthur.
Book 3 is narrated by 3 different people. So the first book is narrated by Petlius, the guy that's following Merlin around right now.
Okay.
So he's just talking about Arthur and him growing up, and he's young, and he pulls the sword from the stone in the very book 2 ends with Merlin putting the sword in the stone. Book 3 starts with Arthur coming back and pulling the sword out of the stone, right? And then it's his escapades and people and gathering all of Britain and uniting all the kingdoms to be whatever. And so that's like the first part of the book, and then the second book is him rallying all the kings, and there's lots of battles and stuff like that. And then the third book again is narrated by someone else entirely, and the third part of the book is very, very disjointed, because I think that's where he had just ended. Also, it has like the final confrontation with Merlin and Morgion, and then the final confrontation with Arthur and Mordred and Morgion, and then and it mentions like the Knights of the Round Table and the Holy Grail are just like briefly mentioned as things that are happening in the background, and then it's over, and it's like, oh yeah, the Knights they went for another council at the Knights of the Round Table. I'm like, wait, what? When did that happen? So it's very, very disjointed, the last third of the book.
Yeah.
So I think they could.
That's interesting. It sounds a lot like the Sword in the Stone books, because the Sword in the Stone books seem very disjointed.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've actually read those ones. I know we were talking about it, and I finally did.
I read part of the For Once and Future King in middle school or high school or something. I don't remember which. I didn't read the whole thing. I just read the Sword in the Stone segment, I think. But yeah, so it's very disjointed, and I'm assuming books 4 and 5 fill in a lot of that. But you could stretch book 3 into 3 seasons easily, because there's so much happens, and then there's a time jump, and it's narrated by someone else, and then a lot of other stuff happens, and then there's another time jump, and it's narrated by someone else. So you could easily.
Let's hope this is successful enough for them to do that. Yeah,
I agree. Yeah.
But I also think, again, like, you don't want something to just drag on either. So, like, I hope they have a good framework for a 5 season or whatever,
I think they could, at this pace, if this covers all of book 2, I could see them doing 2 more seasons. One with Arthur's early life, and then the end of his life. And then they could do a 4th season too, with the stuff after the newer stuff, with the modern day returning of King Arthur. That's in book 6, I think, that he did.
Oh, that's the new stuff.
He wrote that like 2 years ago.
Right.
It came out in 2023.
Right. So if they wanted to continue with that, they could do book 6 as a 4th season or something.
Yeah, that's fair.
But anyways. Yeah.
Well, we'll have to see if it gets renewed at all, right?
Yeah.
Who knows how successful this will be?
Yeah, we'll see.
It's hard to tell.
It's fun though.
I know we're already at 3 hours and 40 minutes, but I'll just toss out there. I watched Blazing Saddles for the first time this week.
Oh, that's good.
History of the World Part 1.
How do you like that ending?
Of Blazing Saddles?
Yeah, where they go through the movie set.
Yeah, that was great. Yeah, that was an interesting watch, but it was really, really good. I did quite like Blazing Saddles. Yeah. I wasn't as much a fan of History of the World, even just Part 1. That's all I've seen so far.
Yeah,
it's not as good. But
Jared, there's no Part 2.
Yeah, don't bother.
Well, I was going to say,
the TV
I know there's
show.
a Part 2 technically, but yeah. So I'm not the fact that you guys
one
liked
funny
part 1
enough
but then hated Part 2. I'm not eager to watch Part 2, but I'm curious anyway, so I might check it out.
There are some good sketches in Part 2.
Yeah.
But
there's one good sketch in Part 2 and one funny joke.
Part 1 is not his best work, but it's good.
Yeah.
So I think we're going to watch The Producers probably pretty soon as well, which I've seen before, but
which
Hannah
one?
hasn't. So
which one? The musical or the non-musical?
So the original one is the one we're planning on watching. I think that's the one that I've seen before. If not, then I don't remember, but I'll probably try to watch them both, but we'll see. Yeah. Anyway,
Charles wanted us to talk about Firefly.
Yeah, I was kind of confused. I guess he was just
he's been watching it or
thinking about it lately.
Again, but
don't bring it up.
It says a quick Google said that Disney exploring a revival around different characters, but
screw Disney.
I'm not holding my breath on that.
I wouldn't want them
I did
to.
watch.
I'm holding my breath that they don't do it.
I think Serenity was the best ending that we could get to the Firefly series. I think it did a phenomenal job of wrapping up most of the plot points and everything.
I'd be curious to check out some of the comics because it sounds like they explored some things there.
Some of they've done some audiobooks some novels that I have as audiobooks that I've been meaning to read too. But yeah.
But I as much as I loved it and wish it hadn't died, I don't think that it's a good idea to try to bring it back. Maybe total reboot or just a spin-off in the same series or in the same universe. But even that, I'm just like I'm overly optimistic in terms of okay, if you want to try it, sure, go ahead. But I'm not actually wanting that or gunning for it.
The problem is the only story that I could see as a continuation is a direct sequel, picking off with the surviving characters. And the problem is I would miss the characters that didn't survive Serenity.
Yeah.
But
and it's been so long now. It's time to move on. Like I
agree.
Again, I wish it hadn't died. I wish it could have gone.
I would have loved to remake 15 years ago, but it's too late.
I also would love to spend more time in that universe because that universe was great.
Yeah.
But I think we got to move on. Yeah. I also watched Hamnet, which had interesting parallels with the ideas that Alan was saying of like giving your life for the other, which it was really well performed, but interesting movie. But yeah, anyway, that's all I have to say on that one. And Mercy was okay. I liked the
Mercy.
mystery of it a little bit better than I liked. It was a little too much of the searching and War of the Worlds where things are on screens that you're watching the whole time.
Yeah.
But it was a step away from that because it was kind of in a virtual environment sometimes. So that almost got a little bit better, but it wasn't great. I didn't love that presentation of it. And,
I'm really frustrated with how much. I mean, we know why, but how much Hollywood despises Chris Pratt, because he gets it's like Henry Cavill. They
so
keep
much
just
hate.
giving him garbage, you know, like those last few.
This almost
he's been
wanted to
good at
have
them, and they've been. You know, like Passengers, it was such a disappointment. This one looks like it's probably going to disappoint me the same way.
I'm not going to give it a high recommendation or anything like that. I enjoyed the story, like the thriller mystery of it that was there, and some of the plot twists it took were like, okay, that was kind of cool. That's a fun little way that we're getting to it. But the presentation was a little bit wonky, and it ended with a kind of like unfulfilling or over the top, like unfulfillingly over the top ending, I suppose. It also almost felt like it wanted to make a commentary against AI, but didn't really, and had more of a commentary about like let's just try to make sure we're doing the right thing.
I saw people were mad about that. They're like, "Oh, it didn't make a statement against AI,"
which is fine. Again, the biggest problem was that it almost seemed like they were going to, and then they didn't. If you're going to, then just do it. But if you're not going to, then don't try to make a comment. Don't like. It was like they weaved things in and then said, "Oh, maybe not. We're going to take that out." And so there were like hints of it still there, and then it just wasn't. You know, but like I said, with as awful as the Snow White movie was, they put little hints of different ideas that they were thinking about putting in there, and then they took them back out, and so it just was a weaker movie for it. So even if they'd kept in the things that I wouldn't have loved, it would have at least been a stronger movie for what it was trying to do. But they made it weak. They made it worse in both ways. You know, I don't know. So that's the impression I got out of it. At least I don't know for sure, but yeah. Anyway,
Gotcha.
I will say those kids in Hamnet did really. They had some really solid performances. They had a couple of kids in Hamnet. Everybody's going crazy about Jessie Buckley, the one that plays Shakespeare's wife in that movie, but the kids did an amazing job in that one, I think. So, yeah.
I haven't even heard of that. Of course, I haven't been to the movie theater to see a film in forever.
Yeah.
So. Cool beans.
Yep.
Anything else?
Hold on.
Alan's distracted. So
that's all I got.
Yeah, that's all I got.
I'm listening, but I'm confused.
We lose them after about 3.5 hours. So.
Yep. Yeah.
I'm so confused.
What are you confused about?
What are you confused about?
It has nothing to do. It's not important. But Audible had a thing where if you spend 3 credits, you get a $15 credit.
Right.
So not a normal credit. And I did that, and then I bought a book with the $15 credit, but it charged me full price. And now I'm trying to use it to buy another one, and it's not working.
That's weird.
Audible's dumb. I'm unsubscribing this month. I only do it when there's deals to get 3 books for free, and then I immediately unsubscribe.
Yep. 90% of the time, that's what I've done. I think I've actually paid for Audible like maybe 2 months.
It literally. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's pretty dumb.
Yeah, I paid full price for this book when it said it was going to cost $1 because it was a $16 book, and I had a $15 credit, but it charged me $16.
That's pretty dumb.
And now I'm going to my wish list. Hey, because I want to spend that $15. And it says, hey, there's a book. The regular price is $25. The member price, because I'm a member, is $16. Put it in my cart. Go to check out. How do I use the credit?
I don't know. There might be a checkbox.
It says $15 discount applied. Look at this. Hold on.
All right, take us through your shopping journey.
Look at this.
Yeah, you're right. Like, item total $16. Discount applied. It's still $16. That's weird. Go to checkout. Does it change it in there? Yeah. There you go.
But this is what it showed me last time, and then it charged me $16.
Huh.
I'm not even sure if I want this book because the last book got really woke. And there's 2 more books. I haven't read the one before this.
Yeah.
To see if it's still garbage or not. But it's also like the 8th book in the series, so.
Yeah, my wife is reading the series like that.
Maybe I just did it too fast because I used the credit and then immediately bought it, but I swear it said your order, it's only going to cost you $2. There's a different one. I'm sorry about your water buckets. Oh, did you get some snow for the first time in your life? You don't know how to deal with it because you're in the South. Welcome to winter, my friend.
Yep.
Oh, James is adding books. James is using my Audible right now to listen to stuff. There's a whole bunch of stuff on my wish list that I did not put on there.
Sure.
I'm not buying that crap.
Good excuse, Alan.
I'm not buying this gay stuff. Actually, no, these look pretty good. I had heard about this one, so.
Do tell.
There's 2 books called Dragon Rider by 2 different authors.
Oh no!
But I heard of one of them. I haven't heard of the other one.
Nice.
So anyway, is that it? That's it?
I think so.
Let's see. Next week, we're Night of the Seven Kingdoms episode 3, Pendragon episode 4.
And more Fallout, I guess.
Okay, so these are both going to end on the same week now, which they weren't going to do before.
Star Trek Academy.
So
that's Star Trek Academy.
Oh, thanks for that. Thanks for that.
I could have.
Yeah.
I'd forgot. I forgot about it. You didn't have to remind me. I would have showed up next week, and then Mark Clark would have been like, "Hey, did you watch it?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I'll do it. I promise." And you had to freaking remind me because now I can't honestly not watch it on purpose.
Yep.
Yeah.
I could have forgotten about it.
You could have. Sorry.
Yeah, and now we're all going to have to watch it too.
I'm just trying to make an honest man out of you.
One of your windows broke. That's crazy.
Oh, dang.
I didn't know that a pillow leaned against the window would cause problems like that.
Something to do with thermal expansion. That's bizarre. Oh, you just ruined my day. I know I'm not going to like it.
Yeah. Yep.
No crap, Sherlock. That's a problem.
All right.
Because I don't like swearing because my mama doesn't like it, but it doesn't rhyme.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, Sherlock.
It's okay. The original doesn't rhyme either. It just flows better.
Yeah. I was gonna say it's. I think it's the alliteration then.
Yeah, it's the sh. They're both sh words.
Yeah. No Sherlock.
Anyway. Yeah.
Okay.
Night.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
And also Fallout.
See ya.
For
for those that
there's only one episode left.
Up with
that. One last episode.
Oh, praise be. There's only one episode after that.
Nobody cared about it, but Wonder Man came out. I thought it was pretty good. Not amazing, but I thought it was all right.
That's
it's hard
Marvel's
for me
Wonder Man
to get it up for pretty good. Like it's okay.
I'm not expecting you guys to then decide to go, oh, I'm going to go check it out then now.
That's the problem. That's the problem. Look, it either has to be really bad or really good, or I'm just like, I just don't.
Yeah.
I just can't waste my time on this, you know?
Fair enough.
Yep.
As the sacrificial lamb, I will at least toss out my 2 cents on it.
I did like the
nobody will
arc,
take seriously because I have bad takes. But whatever.
Is this season 3 is back now? I didn't finish season 2, but of the arc. Or maybe
the arc.
I need to figure out what I didn't finish. Whatever I was watching it on, I'm not subscribed to anymore though. I'll have to find it somewhere. Good night.
Okay.
It's been fun. I'm exhausted. I've been sick all week, and so I didn't get the video done. But I'm going to try real hard to get it in tomorrow. So.
Yep.
All right. Bye. See you guys.
Bye.
And now it is time to say goodbye.
We had a great conversation.
It's been fun. But all good things must come to an end, and the goodest ending I can think of is...
Right now, this moment, this night.
So I guess we just say goodbye.
So, goodbye.
Toodaloo. Au revoir. Auf Wiedersehen. Ciao. Ding dao day. But come back next week for more outrageous bloopers.
This is the end.
Well, there's only one thing left to do.
I'm gonna go home and sleep with my wife.
Well, I hope you enjoyed the video. If it's true, please take a minute to subscribe to the channel, and you can join us along for the ride. And if you pay me, I'll try to be more entertaining. So please consider joining Patreon and getting your name in the credits with pride.
I'd buy that for $1.